Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Adventures of the Windswift. It is with smiling faces that we take over the world. Well, some of us anyway. Others have decided that they don't want to be part of the world anymore and have left, leaving in their place a little girl. So there are all kinds of crazy going on at the moment. And to give us a recap of what happened last week, Dice of Destiny, digital Dice of Destiny, tells us it is number 4. That is Jenny currently on my screen. Would you take us through what happened last week?
What happened? Well, we were split up. Adras had gone to scout ahead in Sector 13, and the rest of them had gone to help Atra rescue his daughter, so that they could then get Atra to come with us and help against Sector 13. And they got there, and there was a lot of murdering of, guards, hostages, lots of people, anyone really. And then Adras daughter was rescued, and then he stabbed her and absorbed her soul.
It's just a force of habit. What can I do?
It was a reflex, really. Like, ah! And then they went back to the Windswift with a young, scared girl in Adras' body, and everybody was extremely confused. And it was sort of, you need to get you to Lilly right now and sort of try to figure out what's going on. In the meantime, Con was called over to the Oken, who had been sort of nervously paging him for hours. And he went over there, and the Oken is dying from having read the dangerous magical tome, which we had told him not to do because it was very dangerous, but he did it anyway, and now he's dead. Before he died, he transferred his leadership and powers to Con for some bizarre reason. And Con then went so that, okay, well, all these wars that the druid Oken has started, we're just going to not do them anymore. It's going to recall everyone, and then you're going to come help us kill the dragons. While all that was going on, Adras, in the meantime, was captured, as was expected, really, and brought before a very, very large dragon, basically.
With her first roll looked at Arthur's almost, right?
Yeah, there we go. Yes, that's a good place to start. Con, you return to the Stockstoivia.
Before I do that...
return to the Stockstoivia.
Was it Aria?
Alia.
I give her the specifics of the place I just rescued Atra's daughter from. Tillita takes a strike team to rescue the remaining slave children and terminate the facility with extreme prejudice. We're not going to take on nation states here. We're going to take more manageable chunks out of the evils of this world, starting with stuff like that. Let's make an example, shall we? I want there to be a blackened, smouldering hole where that shit bit is. Understood? Unless, of course, you feel sympathetic towards child slavers.
We will do as you command, Oken. Ours is not to question your will.
Good.
If I might suggest something, however...
I also want we'll get to that. I want the leadership of all our current opponents to be contacted and informed that management of Sanctuary has changed hands, and we are no longer interested in attacking and making war on them. Our troops will be diverted to more important causes, and they can do with that what they will, but it would be nice if we could all just stop killing each other, don't you think? Generally speaking, war is destructive and a waste of resources. And since we started it, it's probably a good idea if we stop it. Yes?
Am I to use your exact words, Oken, or...?
You might want to make it a bit more formal or dressed up, but essentially, yes. Those would be the right words. Now, what were you going to say?
I wish you a long reign, Lord Oken.
How very
And she bows.
diplomatic of
Is
you.
this Scar, long live the king? What's going on?
You can tell that that was not what she was going to say, but she has decided to change her mind, and that is what she has now decided to tell you. She bows low before you.
Yes, I don't have the time to call her out on that, so I will then make my way back to the Stockstoiver.
All right, you leave her
All
groveling.
goes well?
Leave a comment in her HR file.
Yeah.
You go back to the Stockstoiver. There is the scent of roasted meats, and the spirits are slightly raised for some, but not for others. But before you have much chance to act, Yorick, you arrive with Captain Ty to find Lilly sitting chatting with Jasper. And Lilly has made some tea, and I'm not sure if Jasper is drinking the sweet tea.
Would be a welcome change, I reckon.
Right, it's not water.
Yes, you
Hello.
wanted to speak to me?
How much do you know about young Jasper here? Says Lilly, looking from you to the giant hulking form that is Atramentum.
Well, not much more than that. I suppose she lived in a cell up until very recently. If that is who I think it is.
I'm not entirely sure what Atramentum has done, but I'm sure it's for the best. Jasper
I don't know either.
us, and Atramentum is not at the moment.
Not at all.
I want to go looking for Atramentum, but I might need to go into places that may be unpleasant for individuals as young as this one, she sort of says, sideways glancing at Atra.
Okay, so what do you need me to do?
You are one of the Commodores. I need you to approve such a deep experience.
If it'll help Atra and Jasper, then you have my approval.
Jasper,
Hmm.
I'm going to go looking for your daddy now. Is that right?
Okay.
Do you know where he is? That's all right. I'm sure I can find him. I'm going to go looking for him inside your dreams. Is that okay? I thought it might be a little bit scary for you, but I promise you it won't be. Captain Ty is a very good friend of your dad, as is Commodore Yorick. You know Commodore Yorick from when you were with him in the bad place. Is that true?
She might not have seen me, actually, because I was never in the room, but...
She was dragged into your purple love sphere.
Yes,
And you spent 2 hours walking across the
Yeah,
desert.
that too, yeah.
No, during the desert, absolutely.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, that's what we want to find out. So you're going to feel a little pressure inside your head. It won't hurt. Just accept it and breathe. All right? Lilly, Jorik, you see this, very deftly takes the silver spoon that is sitting on the teacup and wallops it across Jasper's nose so that there's a loud crack as it smacks sharply on the very point of the cartilage.
And as she is still alive, you are sure Atramentum is not here.
Exactly.
Yes, correct. It's very, very painful as you can imagine, being suddenly whacked on the nose with this hard silver spoon. Lilly does that very, very specifically to distract Jasper with the pain so that then she can mentally slip in and through the cracks of the mind that is no longer defending itself because there's this blinding pain on the nose. So that's what Lily's going to be doing for the next few moments as she dives deep into the mind of Atramentum to try and see what she can find. I'm going to come back to you on that one.
I'm not sure which mind is worse to dive into.
No.
Jasper's or Adras. It might be a close call.
Exactly. Saket, I see that you are feeding the troops, which is always...
That's okay. I can multitask because I've learned how to do that in the last 2 weeks.
The crew are eager for this battle and for the bacon that has been manufactured.
You could almost say they're the bacon battalion.
Oh,
you could almost. Absolutely.
Almost.
No, you could not.
The crew are excited and eager, and you get a sense that they are actually looking to Mios as their first officer now, with a certain amount of, not reverence, but when he talks, everyone kind of quietens down and listens. And something seems to have changed in the young lad too. His voice now cracks less. It's starting to get a little bit, now it seems to be settling on the slightly deeper tone than before. The barbarians are gathered and they're singing a traditional song, which sounds like it's some kind of sport that's being played. When they try and translate the meaning from their tongue into common, it gets very weird. Definitely there's a raping of a monastery, and then possibly the use of one of the monks' heads as a ball, which is then put between the posts, but it's confusing. Mammoths are also involved.
Mammoths.
Yeah, part of the chorus is every now and again everyone lifts up the middle trunk and does a mammoth call. It might just be part of the chorus line. You're not entirely sure. It's chaos. Are you doing anything else other than this preparation?
I guess there's a slight moment of confusion. So, oh dear. Everything's going off at once here. So I kind of stride forward with bacon, butty, maybe brioche roll forward, and I'm like, "Well done, Mios. I'm very impressed. Is everybody ready?"
Commodore, we are indeed ready for whatever action we might face.
Okay, so we just have to wait for Con to come back, and then we are going to step into Section 13. We will not all return. I can almost guarantee that. Our primary objective is to find Adras and kill the dragon. Does everybody understand? We kill the dragon.
Not the other way around.
Yes.
Not kill the cat.
Find the dragon.
Got it.
Our second objective is that we kill anyone who tries to help the dragon. Does this also make sense to everybody? Are we clear?
I think I speak on behalf of the crew when I say yes, we are fully prepared. I have one question, however, Commodore.
Yes? Yeah.
How exactly do we kill a dragon?
I had a really good cunning plan. It's just I need to find Adras to carry it out. So that's definitely a primary objective, and hopefully they will be alive and we can do that together. So find Adras and Cathar and their bloody gender issues. I mean, in Sajetti, it's much easier.
Just in the world that has to change.
But we will take care of it. I hope they can help me do this. It's a very good cunning plan. If not, I'm gonna have to enlist someone else's help, and we've lost Atra, so that could be problematic. Anyway, yeah, don't worry, I have a cunning plan.
One of the barbarians, I think I need to raise a point of order, if you might be so bold.
That go ahead.
Yeah, so I understand that you have a cunning plan that involves us requiring Adras. We will do our best to retrieve her and bring her back, obviously, in one piece so that she might enact this cunning plan with you. However, what is the alternative? As you indicated, there might be others you might be able to use in this cunning plan of yours. It might be a good idea if you shared what the cunning plan was in case we lose you. So that we find Adras, we can then continue the cunning plan with Adras.
Yeah, we blow things up. Essentially, that's it. You see, because I'm guessing there are going to be active engines inside Section 13, because that's the only way they can get to the dragons. So you're going to use those as massive, ginormous bombs. I want you to overload the engines and blow things up. Does that sound good to everyone?
Mios looks at you. I'm very glad that you told us about that, because now I am absolutely certain as to what we should do. He turns. Everybody, I want you to go into the stores of the Stockstovia and find the magic units.
Oh, good plan, Mios. I like it. I like it. Lots of shrapnel everywhere. Awesome. Okay. And my plan with Adras is that together we will blow up the thing, and then, because he should have stones on them, and then it will be fine. And then I will try and telekinesis us out of the situation so we remain alive. I do suggest to everybody you make your best efforts to stay alive, please. But I also understand that some of us may not manage that. But we will do our best.
Cabin looks at you. Permission to dismantle certain parts of the Stockstovia to assist in our ingress into said Section 31 facility with the intention of blowing it up. Ma'am.
13, but yes, absolutely. You can take whatever you think will be necessary to blow Section 13 up.
Right, good, thank you. 13, well, that should be a lot easier. It's much less than 31.
Yes, yeah. It's okay. We all have those moments in our lives. But yes, is everybody happy with the plan? I feel that simplicity is the best plan.
We are perfectly happy, Commodore, says First Officer Mios, and then he snaps off this most perfunctory salute. Well, not perfunctory, the most perfect salute that you've ever seen. I mean, you can almost hear his sinews snap back into place. And then everybody rises and expectantly watches for you to leave.
I feel there is a moment of, okay, does anyone know where Con is?
Like, he should be coming back, like, sometime, says one of the druids from the back.
Hopefully.
Okay, can I just make one little personal suggestion there for you, dude? Try and stay off the green stuff for, I don't know, maybe a few hours?
Totally. You don't ever stand on it. That's crazy. I never stand on it. I'm never on it.
Right. Just don't smoke it for a couple of hours either, okay?
There's a nudge from the young dwarfling next to him, and he yes, commode.
Thank you.
A door.
Dude.
Everybody else is straining in their salute of you.
Okay, I'm just gonna go find Jorik and yeah, I'll be back, guys. Oh god, I feel like you're all gonna start talking about me now. Okay, bye.
There's a collective sort of arm lowering as you leave the room, and then barking orders from Mios, Biora, and several others as action is accounted for. What does Lilly find inside of your mind Atra.
My mind. Oh,
Yes.
boy. I mean, how do you want this to work? I guess. So
We're in your playing field now.
oh boy. Okay. So you said this is a dream, right? So I assume this is like some subconscious.
That's what she's doing. She's plunging into your mind to see. She's hoping that,
Okay.
from what she understands of Atramentum,
Mhm.
that maybe Atramentum has killed himself, placed himself somewhere, and allowed Jasper to take over his body.
Mhm.
So she's trying to find memories that she's hoping Atra would have somehow given her as to where he might be.
Okay. So what she would find is a dream of Jasper, which is, I guess, more like a nightmare, because that is what her life has been the past few years, as in like trying to run away and not being able to because being shackled with a big, what do you say, ball and chain, I think it's called. Yeah, a ball and chain to the ground, and always the taskmaster using a whip to kind of punish her. But the one thing, while she peruses through these different kind of scenes, is that, as you mentioned a few weeks back, that she was a little bit of like rebellish towards her overseer, that she had like a hope, I would say, and that kind of kept her mind in a somewhat safe place. And the one thing that isn't clear, and maybe that is something that Lilly needs to figure out, is where this safe space, where this hope might rest.
Gotcha. Lilly is then going to see if, because it doesn't look like Atra's done anything here that is immediately obvious. And she would assume that there is an immediate solution, because, well, that's what she's assuming. She's going to go and look to see if she can find Atramentum in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So she will go into the subconscious mind. She's going to just basically shut Jasper out. She's going to close the door on Jasper and see if there's anybody else in here.
Give me the investigation check.
This is what's so weird, right? Is that's kind of like where it is, because this is your space here. So her investigate check is 19. Pretty good.
The tables have turned now.
Suddenly we have another GM.
Now you're in our game, guy.
Record scratch. Okay, so yeah, like going back in time, in memories, basically into more of a childhood part of memories, and maybe of older dreams. She comes back to a place where from a time before she was apprehended or kidnapped even, and she finds as older memories get a little bit more blurry, it is a little bit harder to move in these dreams, and it costs more effort to kind of focus them. But in the end, after some strenuous kind of expenditure of her mental force, she manages to find like an image of Atra, or a memory of him,
Right.
an avatar.
But
The
not
memory of while he was playing with his daughter, while she might have not been older than maybe 5 years.
Hmm.
And she was playing with some, like a doll with one leg kind of broken off, and a dirty kind of tunic. And yeah, he was talking to her about. It's unclear. It's lost in the mists of
All right.
time.
Jorik, you are seeing Lily with her eyes closed. She's clearly concentrating on Jasper, who has now stopped moving altogether. She was whimpering with the broken nose, well, with the crack on the nose. But she's sort of calmed down now as Lily has now started to just peel back this poor child's mind. Lily does not look happy. She is looking very concerned, very worried, as she's trying to figure out what is going on, and the like. She is very calm and very, very still. Several crewmen rush past you, and you hear someone saying, are you sure we're going to be able to carry that thing? I mean, the ballista is pretty big. And another voice saying, don't worry, I got this. I totally got this. I had a vision. As these people run past behind you.
I'm concerned.
Sounds like Cpt.8 is up to something.
Con, you step through the tree from the chaos of the druids to the site of the forward ballista of the Windswift being dismantled.
I'm on the Stockstoiver, aren't I?
Correct.
Right. Did any druids come with me?
Nope. You didn't ask for any.
I did.
I thought you wanted a force to go and... Yes, to take out the sands of Cpt.8.
Yes, them. And I wanted some to come with me. But that's fine.
Ah, miscommunication. Happens all the time. Sorry, Oken. Sorry.
I think you said you wanted
Most able-bodied in 5 minutes.
the most able-bodied to stand ready to be sent somewhere. But that's what you said.
Okay, fine. Good. There we are. So I look around. What do I see other than the Windswift adjacent being dismantled?
Crew members rushing about the deck of the Stockstoiver as well. Ropes, pulleys, just hives of activity. No one seems to really have paid too much attention to your arrival. And there's no sign of any of the other Commodores.
I grab the nearest crew member and ask them where the Commodores are.
Right, you are, sir. It's the dumpy little dwarf druid. She looks at you. Well, from what I gather, you've got Jorik. He's where the hell is Jorik? I believe he's with Lilly. Then you've got Commodore Cpt.8. I don't know where she is at the moment, but we're busy mobilizing all the troops and forces we can because she's got a cunning plan to rescue Adras and destroy the dragons and blow up section 13 or 31. I got confused on the number.
Captain Ty.
Captain Ty is with Commodore Jorik and Atramentum and Lilly.
Right, thank you. Carry on. I head for Lily's.
Oh, and Commodore Adras has been taken by dragons.
What? How do you know?
Commodore Cpt.8 told us.
Okay.
We're probably going to die too.
And how does she know?
I think it's a fair assumption at this point.
Yeah. I'm guessing. Well, she hasn't come back, so, there's a problem there.
That's fair.
I make my way to Lily's chamber. I'm looking for Captain Ty first.
It's a crowded room.
Captain Ty, good. Please assemble this. What?
Lily's...
You see Lily
We can go
with her hand outreached over Atramentum's forehead. Everyone seems very tense.
There is blood.
It's just going to take long.
What?
Don't know.
We've already lost enough precious time on this.
I take Con outside the door. And
Hi,
Yes.
I want the strike team assembled in the portal room on the Stockstoiver in the next half hour. Ready? Go.
They're already working on that, Con.
No, I mean as in they need to be there in half an hour, ready to go.
All right, I was hoping they're going to be finished before that, but all right.
Which
That's
would
as
it
long
be?
as I'm giving
Commodores?
whatever this is.
15 minutes or half an hour?
As soon as possible.
She nods and runs off. Saket, you find Commodore Con and Jorik having a loud whisper in the corridor.
Ah, Con, you're back. Awesome. Please tell me that the Oken sent you some lovely druids to...
Both of you give me perception checks, if you please.
Sure, why not?
Oh, I seem to be rolling that number a lot today.
23.
No, well, that'd be nice. But it does come to 22 in total.
Okay. Both of you notice that while Connor's standing there, he seems to be more there than there. Like, the area of the ship that he's in, he seems slightly taller. The ship around him seems slightly brighter, slightly broader. And definitely, you watch in his beard as sections of it start to tint more towards these auburn colors, autumn kind of colors. Yeah, that's what you're seeing. In his, literally, you're watching as the hair on the beard seems to be getting a little bit longer, but fuller, a bit more majestic. The brows are thickening out ever so slightly. There is a majesty that is slowly seeming to take over Commodore Con. It could just be that he's issuing decisive orders.
Yes,
He looks slightly different, but...
he does, doesn't he?
There was an unexpected succession.
Uh-huh.
The Oken is no more.
Right.
I glance at the book under my arm.
Did you kill him?
Good advice.
Oh.
No, I didn't kill him. He killed himself, essentially.
Oh,
The
let me
book.
guess the book.
You
So,
have
and
the
in
book.
his wisdom, in his final moments, decided to impart his authority onto me,
So you're the Oken now.
apparently.
Well, that should make things easier.
Perhaps. He's gone and started wars with half the empires and nations of the globe, which I have now, it seems to be my responsibility to resolve. However, we have a rather pressing issue that now needs to be addressed. There can be no more procrastination.
Yes.
Our strike team needs to be ready in half an hour. If Adras is with us in half an hour, that's great. Otherwise, I don't really know or care. And I go off looking for the druids.
Con, did you bring anything back from Sanctuary? Like
Mhm.
forces? Anything?
People?
Yes.
People?
I keep
Okay,
going.
good.
The corridor seems slightly darker once he has left.
Okay. That was enlightening, kind of. Right?
I didn't know becoming the Oken was a physical change. It sounded like a title to me, but there's definitely something with him.
Blades of grass
Anyway.
growing out of my footprints.
Get the people ready, Saket. I'll watch
I'm
over.
there already. I've told them the cunning plan. Everybody's ready. We just need to
All right, fine. Meet you in the room in half an hour then.
and I told them the primary objective is to find Adras because they're not back. And
Yeah, I know.
have you seen what time it is? I'm a bit worried. They have a
So
really
am
good
I.
way of getting themselves into quite a lot of trouble quite quickly sometimes.
Adras, you are looking up at this giant black dragon on the other side of the portal, being held by your friendly golem, Freddy 2.
Yes.
And the dragon looks down at you. You have been a thorn in our side for some time. We relish understanding how you achieved that. Bring her here. The golem starts walking up the steps towards the portal.
You know, you of all people, I thought you would get that right. Charugada says hello, by the way.
There is a moment where the black dragon smiles. You found the heretic.
Yes, I did. Did you not? I would have thought you would have been all, good with what it was doing.
I see now why Havent was unable to detain you.
I am very clever.
Yes, you are. I look forward to slowly stripping you of that.
Are you sure you want to? I mean, you still want to, what was it again? Kill the imp, did you call him? The creator?
He watches as the golem gets to the top of the stairs, directly in front of the portal to the Dragon Realm.
I mean, I am on a first name basis with the guy. So, I mean, if you want me to be alive and cooperative so that you have any chance of getting anything out of these books ever again, I'd suggest not stripping me of anything.
The dragon lowers its head all the way down to look you directly in the face.
Adras trying very hard not to look terrified, because they are fucking terrified, but they're trying to play it cool.
You would make a deal with the dragons for your survival.
What choice do I have? I have a lot of work still to do in this world, and possibly other ones. What else are you expecting me to do?
Other worlds?
Well, how many can you think of? I mean, your imagination is the limit as far as I've understood it, right?
The dragon looks back behind itself. Give me an insight check.
Uh-huh. It's not my best thing, but sure. 4.
It makes sense. You're not very familiar with the
No.
facial expression.
This is the third one I've met, but it's still not really there. Plus, it's not Adras' thing.
It looks back at you. Then it looks past you at Havent. I want this one alive, unharmed.
Told you.
Don't push it, Adras.
I'm going to push it.
The dragon turns and the portal closes.
Could you please tell Freddie Jr. to put me down? This is extremely uncomfortable.
I don't know what magical powers you just used on that great big leader of ours. But he didn't say anything about putting you down. Just unharmed and unhurt.
My arms are going to be popping from their sockets very soon if he's going to carry me by my shoulders much longer. Like, please just let him grab me around the waist or something. I'm dying here. I mean, I could just tell him that you were perfectly fine with my arms being ripped from their sockets.
Danny, if they try anything, hold them. After all, if the prisoner tried to escape and died, then that's not our fault.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
Ganadani rolls up his sleeves. Oh, don't you worry, I've got magic aplenty. I've been meaning to fry this cat. He says as his fingers from the top of the stairs, and if my good companion there can't do it, then I've got a little something just waiting for the crew of the Windswift, says Flunt as he holds up this very large magic unit. And in his other hand, he seems to be holding some kind of wand, which he seems to be threatening to bang against the unit of some kind. Hevent turns around and says, "Oh, for God's sake, you moron. Nonetheless, the golem readjusts its grip by lifting you up with one shoulder and then putting you into its hand.
Oh, thank you.
Other hand.
Thank you.
I was hoping you'd try and do something. I really was.
I'm not an idiot. Look, you three seems incredibly tense. You need to, like, get some therapy or something.
I know that your crew are coming for you. I just don't know how.
Well, neither do I. That's the issue. They're all weird people, honestly. They have very strange ideas about how things should be done.
Take her to the Lord's room. Let her wait there.
You do know I'm not a woman, right? Like, never mind.
I've read your files, all of you. I can never tell there's...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Now, as you're being led out, you hear her saying, "And try and raise the stock Stovia again. They haven't reported in since yesterday, and I'm worried." That's the last you hear as you step out. Atra, is there any more discovery that Lilly is going to make in the next 15 minutes or so as she sort of surfs around, trying to see perhaps Atra isn't here, but maybe Jasper saw what Atra did just before she joined his body. So she's going to go and surf the latest memories to see if she can figure out how this thing happened. What does she find?
So while she goes to the memories, this time not dreams, goes to the latest memory, she kind of relives the enormous kind of emotions that were kind of flowing through her mind during the time, and she kind of feels the is it hiccups? No, it's not like the heavy breathing in, and as the tears roll down the cheeks, and she hears what basically no one else heard before, which was like, "I will never let them." What did I say? "I will never let them take you away anymore. I will make sure we." I know that's not exactly what I said, but
Sure.
I know that's how she remembers it.
All right.
I will make sure we are never
Apart again.
apart anymore. Or again, I will not let any harm come to you anymore. Never. And then she just feels a sharp pain in the back, I guess.
Yeah. Lilly emerges from Atra visibly shaken and teary-eyed and very much in the frame that Atra and Jasper were in just before Jasper was murdered. And she looks at you, Jorik, and she says, "I don't know where Atra is. He's not there, and he didn't tell Jasper how to find him if he could have. From what I can see, he had a plan, but he didn't let her know what it was."
Well, that's Atra for you. All right.
Now, Jasper.
Captain Ty. All right, she ran off. All right. For now, then, Jasper here is a guest of the ship. I'll let... Well, none of the commanding crew is going to be left here. We're all leaving. to go to section 13, but make sure Jasper is fine, and we hope that his plan comes together at some point. We have to trust he knows what he's doing, because this is beyond me, and apparently you as well.
If we could make contact with his cabal, they might have insights into what he did, or
They might be pissed.
he doesn't know that. They might be a little unhappy he went behind their backs. Who knows? Who knows?
And anyway, make sure they're comfortable, and we'll be hopefully back soon-ish.
The other children that you brought back, are they still on the ships?
They were supposed to be transported to Sanctuary for, as far as I know. I don't know if they're still here.
If I can request that they don't be, it might be useful for Jasper to have familiar faces around for her to connect with, her peers. She's a lady. She is not a member of the crew.
All right. I will see if they're still here. Sure. Carry on.
Is Jasper or Adras at this point still unconscious, or is she back to...
Starting to come back. Yeah, coming back. Definitely back by now. Yes.
Okay. So what she would do is kind of look around, be also a little bit exhausted, and she kind of scratches her throat, I guess, and fishes out the amulet that she's having, that Yorick, and have seen a few times in action. And she kind of looks at it, and you see that several of the gems that are embedded in it are that's German, brightly lit.
Those are soul gems, right? Oh, you don't know that.
Like, yes.
Hey, look at Jasper's like, oh, you don't know that. Can you... Lilly, what if you tried peering into one of those gems? Do you think you could access a mind stored in a gem? Those are souls. One of them could be Adras. It is quite possible that he stored his own soul in one of the gems and let Jasper's spirit take his body.
Right.
That's an option.
Even if that was possible, I don't know what we could do just now with that information.
Well, we would know where he is. That's one step.
And if it's the mind of a killer, someone that Adras destroyed.
What's the Gathwin?
Let it be there in the gem. I don't expect you to take it out.
I'm not entirely sure how to read the mind of a spirit. I suspect I can do it, but I wouldn't want to try and doing it now.
All right, whatever. Jorik actually has mind meld, which means he can share a mind by touch. So he's going to try and touch one of the gems and see if he can do it.
Lilly watches on in horror. Mind meld with a gem. Con, Saket, the two of you are waiting impatiently. It is time. The troops are assembled. You can see that between two barbarians, they have now built a makeshift sled upon which are affixed a ballista each. And they carry this sled, and riding on the back is Budger on the one. He's ready to fire the ballista. And on the other one is Cabin. He's not riding on it. He's too fat. He runs behind, ready to fire it. They look at you. We reckon we can get 2 shots off each before we, fall. But Hell, 4 ballista shots inside a facility is bound to cause some kind of damage.
Great. Yeah. Let's try get off a bit of. Yeah.
I think I like our crew.
Aim for anything that looks like a machine, I guess, and you can't go wrong. Where's the druid?
Which one says?
Anyone will do at this point.
Oldwin steps forward. Hi. Yes.
Right, you need to go back to Sanctuary and tell Arya I now need those able-bodied troops. You know where to go. We'll probably have been gone by the time they arrive, so you can direct them through this portal in the Stockstoiver, yes?
Yes. Right. Good.
Off you go.
Do I have to go through the portal with them once I've got them here? Only I've got some rather sensitive growth happening at.
No, that's fine. You just need to.
I'll go get them. Don't you worry. I'll go get
Good
them.
man.
He runs into the tree or sapling in his eagerness to not be part of this invasion party, because all this talk of we're probably going to die has kind of dampened his spirits a little bit, because he really does have a new moss that he's been cultivating, and moss is really tricky. Anyway, he vanishes into the tree. Captain Ty and First Officer Mios salute everybody and the two of you. We are ready to invade.
Good. I guess we are just waiting for Jurek then.
Why are we always waiting for someone? This is getting a little I'm getting touchy. Does someone want to go and get Jarek so we can get out of here? I don't even know what he's doing now.
Everyone sort of stands quietly. First Officer Mios turns around and he says, right, Corporal Badger, go and retrieve Commodore Jarek. Badger disappears.
Right.
You're trying to mind meld with one of the three glowing stones. Which
Well, I'm going to try and figure out which one is the last one. So I'll take one on the end, not in the middle, because I'm assuming they charge in an order. So I'm just going to take one of them and just touch it and see if I can sense anything.
your power allows you to do what exactly?
It allows me to transfer a single memory, but also telepathic contact if it's an intelligent person, so I can speak to someone. But otherwise, it's just sharing one memory, as if it was like a data packet or whatever.
What memory are you sharing with this particular sphere?
None at all. I'm trying to just sense if there's something in the gem that I can connect to.
There is something in the gem that you can connect to.
Right. I'm going to share.
Give me a wisdom saving throw. Give me a religious saving religious check. I'll get the right
a religious saving throw.
Religious saving throw. Give me a religious saving.
Dear God, please.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, that
That's
was
going to come up a lot.
Yeah,
17.
Roll everything.
And so is that
17 on a religious check.
All right. There is a risk, because souls are weird. If you telepathically link with a soul that is stored within a device that is designed to store and then transfer souls, there is a risk that you transfer yours in and it's out.
Ooh. I am going to not try.
you are on very shaky religious ground here. This is higher level transcendental.
everything could become crystal clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that knowledge in mind, I'm probably going to, I better not. I'm just going to say that whatever Adras has gotten himself into, he's going to have to figure a way out of it. Either way, we don't have time.
A very out of breath Badger comes running up. I beg your pardon, but we are supposed to be invading.
As I said, we don't have a lot of time. All right, let's go. And I follow Badger and I say to Lilly, make sure he they are comfortable.
I'll keep them as comfortable as I can.
Good.
I don't
Thank you.
know what's going. We're going to have more tea, she says as she turns and tries to figure out what is going on there and what she's going to try and do. Yes, it's an interesting. Just for those of us who are dying of curiosity, no, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to come back to that later. Tobias, your character Jorik goes rushing into the Stockstoivia's chamber to see about 50 people standing awkwardly waiting because the druids arrived in the time that you were having your religious epiphanies. And so there's a queue of people and Ballista waiting. And you do get the sense they're waiting for you. As you arrive, there's a parting of the people giving you a straight line right to the front where you can see the Commodores.
All right, so we're ready to go.
Did you find Atra?
Yes and no. It's a long story.
Okay, well, we don't have time for that. Let's go.
No, we don't. Let's go.
All right, you plunge into the portal and find yourselves, well, the three of you anyway, step through the portal and find yourselves in that stone room that feels like days before Adras had come through. Yes, it's a fairly plain stone room with a large stone door on it. Is there any subtlety to this, or is this just a full-scale invasion?
So, yeah.
After people start pouring in and the room starts to fill up quite quickly.
The instructions to the rank and file are that they're to attack the other rank and file. They're to avoid engaging with anything that looks like it is well out of their league. We want them to engage with the foot soldiers and generally run interference whilst we deal with the leadership, as it were.
That's to the druids, right?
To yeah.
Right.
We want probably want the barbarians to tail us.
As you're about to start talking about the barbarians, First Officer Mios raises his hand. Commodore, we have our briefings. Commodore Saket gave them to us previously. We know our tasks. You can rely on us. We won't die. We won't die.
Very good, Mios.
Please try not to. Yeah.
All right, let's go find the cat.
All right. The door opens and this charge ensues as druids thunder out into the chaos, followed by this crack squad of ballista-wielding barbarians and Mios sort of riding at the front, if you will, on the shoulders of Biora. He is holding a sword that he has found and has screamed charge at the top of his lungs. Biora with her double-handed axe is quite the warhorse.
I then cast Locate Creature.
Right.
To find Adras. As long as she's within, they are in 1,000 feet.
They are within 1,000 feet. They are within 1,000 feet. Correct. You know exactly where they are. Down the corridor, on the left. Third door after that. Take a second pass over the archway, down the stairs, just past the bathrooms on the right-hand side. You'll find a passageway. She's down that. T-junction, turn left, can't miss it. That's where you start going. All right. The three of you charge off in that direction. Already alarms are going off. There are battles ensuing. The three of you need to give me dexterity saving throws, please, as you are running down the corridor.
Oh God! Of all the saving throws you could have in the world.
24.
All right, you dodge out of the way.
Of what?
Con ducks out of the way. How much, Saket?
8.
8.
I get hit.
You take 6 points of explosive clay damage. From somewhere you hear, "Fire in the hole!" and then a golem that has just come around the corner gets hit by a ballista bolt and explodes in clay in all different directions.
8,
As
did you say?
one of the ballista just
Yes.
gets 8 points of damage. Adras, you are being shown into this very large, very ornate-looking room
Wait, I still have the cloak, don't I?
with
Yes.
Haventi following you.
Mm-hmm.
When the alarms start going off, oh, now finally it's starting. You were very good to play with the time. Tell me, how are they doing it exactly? Is it a subtle stealth approach and they've just tripped her?
I sort of walk over to a sort of sideboard. I pick up a sort of decanter of wine and just pour myself a glass, and I go, I don't think so.
Explosion rocks down.
I have not heard this one
Venti
before.
just turns and watches as flames wash past as one of Captain Ty's hand-lobbed magic units with flame lands somewhere, blowing out a bit of wall, etc. It's just absolute chaos and pandemonium. A pack of wolves suddenly runs past, howling. It's complete.
I sort of walk up and sort of gently place my hand on his shoulder and go, I take this moment to yield.
That's what you're saying? All right, I want initiatives from everybody. Atramentum, I have one question for you. You are in one of those soulstones, that's correct.
Mhm.
The other two, I know of the one.
Mhm.
Who is the other? Who's the third? Did we ever? Was that person ever captured in game? I don't think so.
No.
Just
Right.
some bloke.
Just some bloke. I need you to be part of this initiative, if you please. So, initiative for Con,
14.
for Saket,
4. Fucking
for Jorik,
16.
for Adrusai,
14, and I've rolled an 11, so I don't know if that puts me above or below. Do you know?
for Atramentum.
6.
I rolled 12.
All right, you first then.
All right. Then for me, all my people are going on that. Okay, great. And your crew and minions are going on 8. They might be explosive, but they're not fast. And resistance is now starting to mount. Right. Jorik, you are moving as a team with Con and Saket. And definitely heading to where Con has pointed out Adrasai must be holed up and held accountable for. The three of you, although there are people all over, there are now also Section 31 gnomes. It looks as if they... 13. I don't know why I get 31. It's my dyslexia or stupidity. Anyway, Section 13 gnomes now seemingly seem to be stepping out of thin air. They were obviously under invisibility of some kind, but all of a sudden you see these gnomes, they sort of pull back a cape and they are there either with swords or with crossbows or with bill hooks. They have a variety of weaponry, which they're now starting to take on your crew and druids and the army of nature that has arrived with that. The three of you, every now and again, one sort of appears in front of you dramatically, getting ready to skewer you or stab you when a barbarian slams into them. You know, they're running interference around you guys. The Commodore Seket's orders were very clear in terms of what the Windswift crew must do. So you're making your way down these corridors. However, there gets a point where you run out of Windswift crew. They're engaged in combat behind you. Are you going to stop the charge, or are you going to press on ahead, just the three of you, whilst the battle rages on? This is to Jorik. It's on Jorik's initiative.
All right, sorry.
He's
Jorik presses on. If someone steps in his way, he's going to be really ornery.
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, someone does indeed step in front of you. It is a
Mistake.
ass little goblin who looks at you and goes, "Oh my God, it is all of you, and I'm going to have such an amazing time gutting you all." It's Deacon Flunt as he stands there. Stepping up behind him, however, is his very large bodyguard.
Jorik
I was hoping I'd run into
growls
you.
under his voice, and it's a almost animalistic sound. Get out of my way! And his eyes flare up in pink.
Very menacing.
Yeah, very menacing. And then it's like as if he grows, but it's like his shoulder grows, but not his head. So he's just growing like hunched over, and he sort of turns into this half-transparent werewolfy kind of creature with psionic claws.
Right.
Nice.
Make an attack.
And he says, "Get out of my way."
Oh, he's not going anywhere. He's like, "Bring it, pink boy."
Okay.
Hulk bash.
Yes, he's got his...
He's gonna get punched.
Make your attack.
I just have to add up all my bonuses here. There we go.
So many bonuses.
I hit for 30.
That's
Just
a
that hit.
That hits. That hits him. He screams out in pain. Or
He
does
takes 23 points of psychic damage.
Give me the total damage.
Okay. The second hit is
No,
24.
no, sorry. Is that your total damage? Because I know
That is my total damage. 23.
23. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then he gets an offhand attack. And that hits 24.
Yep.
And at that point, he takes... Wow. Minimum damage. 13 points of psychic damage.
All right.
That's my turn.
As you are hitting
I
him,
try to rip him apart.
you realize that your claws, they would normally have taken the head or shoulder off of the opponent. But he seems to be able to roll with the strike. So as the claw comes through his face, he rolls with it, which actually seems to be reducing the damage that he's taking. So you're hitting him, but he's almost full. It's like he's in water, and he's just rolling around in the liquid with your attack.
When the hell did goblins learn Tai Chi?
Con,
Water, my friend.
it's
Move
all
like
about
water.
the water. You just got to take the water and you got to roll with it. Con, what are you doing? This very large individual behind him has now stepped forward, heavily armed with a rather nasty-looking serrated longsword.
I look at him and go, "This is not your day. You can make a wisdom saving throw for me."
Old person.
Cut to the quick. Is this a frightened effect?
No, this is to not be polymorphed.
All right, I'm just checking to make sure that he got no. All right, he does a wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
14.
He turns into a fish.
That was yeah, okay.
Sneaky, very sneaky.
A wild Deacon Flunt appears.
turn to
This
look
is
at-
Magikarp.
I look at Blunt. Smile at him.
Splash.
Would you like to surrender now?
So Flunt looks at you. I'm going to tear you a new one, mate.
Ooh.
I have waited for this for the last 6 bloody months. You can
Wait for
surrender
your
to
own
me.
debt. Very well, you die now then.
Adras,
Yes.
what are you doing? Havent
What-
is about
what-
to leave the room.
Is she just like rushing out?
Yes?
She's not taking my advice.
No, she's not surrendering.
Damn it! Is the golem still there?
At the doorway, yeah.
But it's not like
It's just standing there.
holding me anymore. All
No.
right. I've got a feeling there's still like a standing order to kill me if I try to cast anything. Now I guess I'm just going to sort of saunter out after her with the wine glass, sort of trying to see where the others are.
As you get to the door, the golem steps in front of you.
Freddie, now.
You didn't think I was going to let you just wander free, did you? I'm not an idiot. Well,
It's this way or it's the hard way a little later when they get here.
You're very confident. I don't understand
Yes.
where this confidence comes from.
Well, how could you not understand? Seriously? Like, we took out 2 cities. We've killed a dragon. We've, dismantled a whole lot of your operation. And I'm pretty sure that once this is over, I'm going to turn into some kind of deity. So you might as well just go along with it at this point. I mean, that's what I'm planning to do anyway. Now, do you
I have one
want to...
question for you.
Yes, fine. What is it?
Can you actually stop the dragons from coming through?
Yes, of course I can. I'm Adras.
How would you do that?
Well, what we do is, in the short term, I'm going to guess that removing those protective fields around the 3 locuses around the thing is going to stop it in the short term, and then maybe in the long term, I'm just going to rewrite reality so that their little fancy little pocket dimension just turns into a cube of shit. Maybe, I don't know what'll come into my head when I do it.
That is a perfect face of disbelief, by the way, Guy. Are you serious?
Freddie, bring our friend here. We're going to go and try out your little theory. Either it'll work and you become a god, or you're going to die horribly. Either way, I suspect the dragons will be grateful in the end.
How do you mean?
We'll test out your little theory, Miss Confidence.
Still don't get it right, do you? Well,
It does grate you, doesn't it? One day I'll get it right, maybe.
it's
When you're dirty and all.
maybe just Argyle wouldn't treat me like this. He wouldn't do this, miss.
What's that name again? If you think he's going to help you, I'm afraid you might be mistaken. I don't think he is who you think he is. Who do you think he is? He says.
Who do you think Argyle is?
I asked first, she says, as she starts walking down the corridor. The golem has once again offered his hands for you to sit in. He's not
All right, I'm gonna go sit down in the hands. Fine, whatever. Well, I'm thinking Argyle thinks somebody who's quite interesting and can just shake things up and make him not bored for a millennium or two. And I think that is possibly the most valuable thing to him.
Not wrong.
What do you think Argyle is?
Atra.
Damn it! Keep doing this to me. Argyle wouldn't do this to me. He'd treat me right.
Atra, describe what it's been like since you arrived.
What did Genie say from Aladdin? Tiny living space. It's
Not as big as you think.
No, not really.
I should have got bigger balls.
Tell me
Spears.
How many men have thought that? And that
Yeah. What has it been like? What has this space been like?
So something went wrong. There was originally it wasn't the plan to leave the vessel of his original body, kind of co-inhabited, but since he was already a little bit strained and in a hurry, right, because the alarms were rung, he had to vacate. But he still feels that, so he still is aware of the wielder of the amulet itself, of the kind of the mind space. He is trying to figure out, and maybe can, maybe can't, to kind of swap if necessary. And that's kind of his own focus while being stuck in crystalline form, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Absolutely. You have, so time is also very different.
Yes.
You get impressions of what's happening in the outside world, but they're like whispers and mirrored images of mirrored images and things.
So it's correct.
Yeah, but it's fascinating. It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
And somewhere the sound of Con shouting.
Right, absolutely. There is another voice that you start to hear, and it sounds nearby, almost like another prisoner in another cell, perhaps. I am surprised to see you here. We never had much opportunity to officially introduce ourselves to one another. Your
I'm
execution was quite efficient.
I am very confused right now.
It's just a voice you're hearing next to you. You get a sense there's another presence there.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a way out, there isn't. I've tried.
I'm sure you did.
Your prison is quite strong. Unless you have a plan, of course. Since I have you here, however, would you be willing, perhaps, to negotiate for my release?
What's your offer?
I have found that I can reach out to individuals that are asleep and influence certain actions of those near death. Combined, perhaps we might have a chance of influencing the actions of some who may bring us closer to escape.
That's not really an offer, is it? You want me to release you, and in turn, you offer me...
I assume you have power over these stones. They are yours to command, are they not?
Perhaps.
Free you, you free me.
Perhaps. But there is no one in these stones I had personal quarrel with.
All just victims of someone else's contract.
So to say.
There is a certain elegance in that, I understand, as well as my own carelessness for allowing you to succeed. So, if you are worried of retribution, it would more be perhaps admiration that you will find here.
Well, if there's anything, anyone you should retribute against, it is my former masters, isn't it?
I am very interested in that word you used. Former.
Yes. I got from them what I wanted. I no longer need them or need to serve them. So I do not longer answer their calls.
Saket, what are you doing? Flunt is squaring off against Con, and there is a large cod which appears to be out of its depth.
That was the golem.
No, the bodyguard.
The bodyguard. All right, the bodyguard. I was going to say. Okay, well, I think.
It's a fish in a boot.
Flunt or fish? Flunt or fish? Let me roll a dice to see. Oh well, it'll be Flunt then because it came out even. Okay. Flunt. What are we going to do with Flunt?
Oh, just as an aside, I maintain the concentration on polymorph long enough for the fish to suffocate to death.
Suffocation in 5th edition takes a long time, but yeah, I see what you're trying to do there, and I'm going to go with that.
All right, I'm going to use Scorching Ray against Flunt and fire all 3 hells of fire at him.
Nice.
So let's start with the ranged spell attack.
I don't think a carp has that much high constitution, though.
Really? So the first one will be a 20.
That's a hit.
The next one is 23.
That's definitely a hit.
And the last one, unfortunately, is just a 6, so it's a miss.
Yeah.
So.
So, Con, when you said it was not his day, you meant it was a carpe diem.
Oh, that was
That's what you meant. That was so over my head. Wow.
Yeah. Was that what you meant?
All right.
That's good.
Oh, that was good. First damage is 7 plus 6. So 7 plus 6 is 13 damage.
Right.
Oh.
And the second one?
That's it. That's them together.
That's the
So it's
total
only-
damage.
Yeah, total damage. There's only 2d6 that I get here.
All right.
Okay.
He takes the damage. He curses at you. He curses wildly at you. He then attacks. In the background, there is a major battle going on. Someone roll a d20 for me, and someone else roll a d20 for me, if you please.
2
Okay.
Did anyone else roll it?
and 1.
Well, that went well.
Yeah.
2 and 1, right, thank you. He now suddenly leaps forward. He is attacking Con because Con taunted him and turned his favorite friend into a fish, which is, not cool.
It's a traditional goblin insult.
It's a traditional goblin insult.
Yes.
Next you, Con, hits an armor class 23. 23 for you, Con? I assume that's a hit.
Oh, sorry, you muted there. Yes, 23 will hit.
All right, then the second attack is a 16.
That also will hit.
And his third attack is a 16.
Yep.
As he dances around you, slicing at you with it looks like a twig. But as he swings it at you, it seems to materialize this blade of pure blue energy, which then slices in rather horridly, dealing its damage, which is this much on the first attack. 22 points of damage.
Gosh.
The first attack.
Right.
Second attack is 3.
Less painful.
Sorry, not 3, 7. Sorry. Got to add in the...
29, yep.
And then the last one is 10.
39. Okay. Unpleasant.
Oh, you're a tough bugger, are you? Okay. Well, I can play all day, says Flint, as he sort of bounces back to his sort of guarded position. The fish continues to flap.
Nice.
Top of the round, Yorick.
I will eat his face. I hit 28.
As a goblin, he has quite a lot of face. Yes, you hit him.
26 damage. Psychic.
Sure.
And the next hit, my offhand, is 31 to hit.
Yep.
19 damage.
He is unhappy as you draw blood. You draw blood. He kind of... That is going to cost you, he says.
I do this with my long claws.
Saket.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Saket. Sorry, you're on 4. I can't read my handwriting. Con.
Antrocon.
Adrucon.
Oh, God.
Summon 8 wolves.
Of course you do. There's not enough wildlife in this underground.
Wait. Do I?
It's a
Yes, I do.
concentration thing, right?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where is it? Conjure animals is concentration. So no, I don't do that.
Like, no.
I
Instead,
step over to the fish and stamp on its head for a start.
oh, grimy.
Splat.
Yeah, it twitches no more as you break its fishy spine.
Read polymorph.
I don't care about his hit points. It's a fish.
The transformation lasts for the duration or until the target drops to 0 hit points or dies.
Yeah.
The new form can be anything, blah.
Yeah.
You muted.
Am I?
Oh, sorry.
I am.
What
I
do
was
you think,
talking.
Tom?
Does it turn back dead or does it turn back with the hit points it had?
When it reverts, it turns back into the gladiator.
Ah. Okay. Awkward.
Sure. So you stepped onto the fish. I don't have a problem with that. What else are you doing, if anything?
Carrying on towards Adras.
Carrying on towards Adras. All right. Adras, you are now back in that 3 spaced chamber, the 3-tiered chamber. And Event is looking over her shoulder. There's an explosion. There's screaming. There's shouting. There's occasionally a giraffe that gates past because some druids just... They don't like wolves. They prefer giraffes.
No judgment.
They got long legs to kick you.
They do it. They do very
Smack
fast.
you with their necks.
And she closes the double doors that leads into this chamber.
Mhm.
All right, then.
Do you really want me to start breaking this thing while we're in the room?
Go for it.
All right, then.
Stones?
What's keeping that force field up? Or are you trying not to tell me? You're trying to see what I do.
You're the god here.
All right, well, fine. Can I tell what is driving these force fields?
Give me an Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
Arcana check.
26.
The fields seem to be generated by the devices themselves. You start to realize that these devices are almost like the opposite. Instead of sucking magic in, they push magic out, which would allow the central device, which sucks magic in, to be powered.
Interesting. This got very complicated very quickly.
It's loud.
No.
Bang in the background. You better hurry. Your worshippers are arriving, and I'd hate for them to find that you're not a god.
Oh, you mean my friends? I'm pretty sure they don't think I'm a god. No. Oh, you're saying you'll kill me. Okay, I got it. All right. Well, I fish up the 2 stones. Seen these before?
I don't know what those are.
No, you'll find out. I'm gonna start doing the first dance, the one that I the one that I shared the wing of a dragon with.
Give me a performance check.
Oh God, why? Why is this a thing now? Natural 20.
Wow. All right.
Nice.
Hey, Macarena.
Yeah. So which of the 3 are you firing at? Are you firing at number 1, number 2, or number 3? They all appear to be very, very similar.
I want to try to angle it because they're in a triangle, so I want to get 2 of them.
Go big or go home. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to try
I just want to burn through both. Yes.
Okay. So you blast through both. Well, the stones erupt with that usual power that you are accustomed to them ejecting. The first one explodes. The magic shield just shatters instantaneously. The device itself is ripped into 1,000 pieces. This green flame sort of burns briefly between the pieces as it is completely destroyed. The second one, the blast hits it, bounces off of it, and slams into the ceiling, cracking the ceiling its entire length. I need all 4 of you to please give me dexterity saving.
Oh no!
Flunt remains standing. As does Hevent.
20, not natural.
Con remains standing.
16.
Jorik remains standing if shaken.
Yes.
Not stirred.
Dexterity, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I also have an unnatural 20.
You remain
Nice.
standing. What did you get, Adras?
Oh shit! Me too. Sorry, I'm here. This is
Not a god yet.
It's a saving throw, so...
another natural 20.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
I just I
Fine.
end up sort of on one toe in one of the sort of Indian dance sort of moves, and I just sort of stand there,
That's
perfectly
just
poised.
The 3 of you are engaged with Flunt when there've been explosions in the background in the past, but this is something completely different. This is the earth shaking, not the building within it. As the ground shakes and rumbles, there's the shrieks of a menagerie worthy of Prince Ali are falling around all over the place. Gnomes are popping into existence, having dropped 10 foot. It's pandemonium and absolute chaos as that erupts. The device that you fired at is still intact, and the energy around it seems undisturbed.
Does the fact that the first one broke seem to have changed anything about the machine?
No, not at all.
I sort of turned. Did Event? She fell over, right?
No, she remains standing.
No. Right. Shall I do it again? All right. Just keep going.
That brings me to someone roll a d20 for me.
19.
19. Actually, you know what? Simon, you can do these for me, please, because you're not here. Roll another d20 for me, please.
9.
Thank you. Battle rages on without. Adras, anything you want to speak to this individual about inside these stones, this crystal prison of yours?
No, but I would like to get an insight if I actually could
Sure.
get back into my original body if I want to.
Sure, absolutely. Give me an insight check.
Insight check. Okay. 19.
You suspect that you will be able to get back into her body. You can do it one of two ways. Either when she's sleeping, that is most likely the easiest route, or you could try and do it forcefully where you then have to take over her mind space.
which would mean for her.
Mental battle, basically. It would be as if someone suddenly stepped into your mind and said, you must be quiet now.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get the sense that it would be a pleasant, hey, we're going to be bunkmates. It's a, I'm in charge or you're in charge. It's not a joint venture.
It's not a joint operation.
Yeah. Great. Someone has to keep the mundane functions going.
Right. And similar to that, I assume you mean the other person is Stengethwin?
Very much so.
Okay. Would I be able to free him and let him control into which body he goes? Or since he's a lich, if it doesn't even matter?
You suspect that if he did have a phylactery, it's, well,
Crumbled at this point?
a million miles away, or it crumbled because he technically is no longer available. His essence isn't linked.
Okay, so he kind of needs a new host, basically.
Correct.
Okay, would I be able to kind of extract him and put him somewhere else?
There are rituals that you could take him through. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, then I want to speak with him. And
Time to consider my proposal.
what is your plan once you get out of this prison?
Many things have occurred since you removed me from the playing field. Assessment would be the first. I have reserves in a hidden location in the event of something similar occurring. I would obviously be willing to share what I have acquired. It is not insubstantial. After then, I doubt I will be able to resume my duties within the Order. I suspect my position has been compromised quite completely by your allies. I also know that my time is relatively short, hence the previous ritual that I completed. I am not completely au fait with the techniques that you used. Will I return to a body as a mortal, or will my undead remain? If so, then immortality gives me the opportunity of perspective.
So for your freedom, you offer me wealth? Is that your offer?
Wealth, support, if you should need it. I do have 700 years of experience, well, nearly 700 years of experience. I have worked with less and achieved more. Together, we would be an unstoppable force.
All right. While I'll take your offer under advisement, I would like to know what you can tell me about the so elusive Sector 13.
A tool, nothing more. Run by an ambitious gnome. She recently acquired the position, having taken out her previous lord. He was a competent engineer and serviced the orders quite sufficiently. His removal and her replacement changed the direction that Section 13 was taking. I wasn't happy with it, but it served our purposes, and ultimately it would prove the same ends. Vivent is not someone to be trifled with. She knows her own mind, and she knows exactly what she wants. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is not necessarily to restore the dragons to power. She is ambitious and will do whatever she can to achieve her own goals.
And is there anything else I should be known about Sector 13? Because it might be that I have some unfinished business.
The gnomish state, as it is, thinks that they control Section 13 as a tool, an implement of the state for subversive activities and information gathering. That is one function of Section 13. The rest has been to support the Order in terms of its flying ships, in terms of technology development, and, of course, in terms of control over the gates.
All right. And is there the last question on this? Is there any sort of passphrase or identificating badges of sorts that someone would need to be undisturbed in Sector 13?
There is. Saket.
Yes.
Flunt is still there, still fighting with Con and Jorik.
Right.
Con is rushing ahead.
Yes, Con
Con
is
is rushing
gone.
ahead. Yes, sorry. And there is
Is-
the fish, which is now no longer a fish. It is now turned back into the large man who is now lying there.
All right, and Jorik is kind of in my way, I'm guessing.
He's right up in Flunt's face, I believe
Okay.
was the exact
Within
position.
5 feet. so
Literally
that's not
trying to
going
eat his face.
work. You've kind of taken half of my freaking spells away, dude. I mean, that one's not
Just
good.
use them. You know you want to.
He's got enough decks. He can manage.
Tempting.
Don't you have that
Tempting.
careful? Don't you have that careful spell trait? Does that not
Ooh,
apply?
thank you for reminding me.
That still just means I make the save. I still take half damage.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Careful spell. Yeah, it does. It means you automatically succeed on a saving throw against the spell. So let's not go that route. Okay, let's we'll have to be Scorching Ray again. Okay, alright, here we go. Number 1, 14.
14 hits.
Ooh, that's good.
What?
No, it doesn't. Sorry, wrong character.
So
Misses.
the
That's
next
a tease.
the next one is 23.
That's a hit.
And the next one is 19.
That's a hit.
Nice. There's 2 more hits. First one does 6 damage. Second one does pants 6 damage. That's 12 damage in total.
He shrieks in pain and swears, "Sajetti Josh," as he takes your
Language.
burn.
I say.
Excuse me?
Simon, would you please roll me a d20?
3.
And another one.
19.
What? What? That's insane. All right. That's fantastic. That's lovely. Back to the top of the round. Jorik.
No. He still has a face.
Me. I attack.
You first.
I know he's act. No, he hasn't. He hasn't acted. He attacks you, Jorik. He doesn't care about Con. You are now the biggest threat to his life. So he swipes at you with this blade of his. He hits an armor class of 21.
That's a miss.
He swipes again. Armor class of 24.
Miss.
Okay, I don't think he can actually hit you unless he gets an armor class of 26.
26 is a hit.
Wow.
Just.
Yeah, good. Finally.
I'm a class of 47. Miss.
Yeah.
I'm a class
So
of
that's a hit.
I'm a class of 127. Yeah, miss.
23 points of magic damage.
Okay. 23.
23 as he
Gotcha.
slices into you and seems perplexed that you haven't died. As usually that would cause death to occur. The bodyguard stands up now. That's his action. Well, that's his move. He stands up and he swings his weighted sword at you, Mr. Jorik, because that's a thing. But I really don't see him hitting you because he does not have as much. Oh, wait, that's his. Where's his regular melee attack? There we go. Okay, right, boom. 3 does not get there, and his next attack is 7. So nope, misses with both. as he slices at you. However, now that he's up, the thief seems to be, well, Flunt anyway, seems to be quite happy. Now you're gonna get it. Watch, he says. And that takes us to you, sir.
Well, let's wipe that smile off his face.
Watch
Literally.
this. No, watch this.
No, hold my veil.
I hit an armor class of 37. Does
Yep.
that hit?
That hits.
No.
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 And he takes 70 points of psychic damage.
70.
Yes.
17 or 17?
70. 70.
Ow.
That's
Yeah.
5.
That's
He
a charged attack, actually.
He dies. He drops over.
Yes.
That puts
So what Jorik does basically is just he growls at this stupid little ugly goblin and just slams both claws into his chest and bites him right in the face. Just crunch.
He is silent.
Yes.
Finally.
He is silent.
Watch this, crunch.
There's a
Watch this.
quiver from his little green arms and his little green legs as the last neurons of his brain fire. And the twig drops to the floor with a very metallic clang, revealing itself to be this blade, very silver. It looks like an elvish blade that has blue energy coursing along its length. Why it was disguised as a twig, you're not sure.
I glare at the bodyguard that tried to hit me with the remains of Flunt's face in my mouth. Surrender?
The bodyguard drops his serrated blade.
Finally,
Good choice.
Sense.
You hear from the background, fire! The ballista.
No, you are joking. I have just rolled the attack roll for that exact effect. I have literally just rolled a 19 because their orders were let the crew get to Adras. And I kid you not, I have just rolled that dice. So yes, you say surrender. He looks at you. He drops his blade. There is this fire order, and a bolt lands squarely in his chest.
Ow!
His strength
Bye.
check. Strength check of 12. That means he sails back into the wall and is pegged and pierced. He's not dead, but he's not going anywhere as well. Behind him,
Stay.
behind you, you hear Meows shouting, "Way's clear, sir! Go get them!"
Good shot,
Reload!
Batman. Well done, you. Okay.
Good shot, Meos.
Right. Let's go. Let's
I
go.
lumber on, trying to get to Adras. I follow after Con.
You get to these two large double doors, and Adras must be on the other side.
Surely.
Yep. I'm right on Con's tail, so Con probably gets there first.
Oh yeah, he had a whole round of combat that you were busy fighting through. So you burst the doors open, Con?
Yeah, as I approach the doors, I mutter some druidic under my breath, and 8 wolves appear around me.
Stalking forward,
And then I fling the doors open.
and this very large golem pivots to look down upon you. You can see this gnome standing very casually. She's got her hands in her pockets, watching as Adras is doing this weird dance with the stones. And then she, wait, was it double this way? No, it was this way, then this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then that way.
Yes.
That's what it was. She's busy doing this crazy dance.
Right.
The golem does not look happy, but it doesn't have a face, so it doesn't really look. What are you doing?
That's a good question. I can see the gnome. What's her name?
Her vent. She's standing there with her hands in her pockets looking at Adras at this moment in time.
And how far away is the golem from me?
30 feet. 20 feet, actually.
What's the golem's reach? 10 foot.
10 foot, yeah.
I circumvent the golem. I assume I move faster than it.
Well, you're still on your movement, so you can dash past it if you.
I command the wolves, all 8 of them, to attack Helvent.
Right.
And I use all of my movement to get around the golem towards
Sure.
Adras.
All right.
And
So
as I approach Adras, I pull the book out from underneath my robes and I go, Adras, I
Ah!
have a toy for you.
Ah!
You brought the book with you. Okay. That's
Oh,
fun.
great!
That's what you're doing. And there's wolves start. Well, they're gonna do that next turn. Saket. No, Adras.
Yes.
Adras. What are you doing? Con's just burst into the room. Freddie has turned to face off against apparently because they all just ran past him. Damn golem.
What I was going to do is do the dance again because I was going to tell her I was going to try again, and then I was going to at the last minute I was going to pivot and fire it off at the golem.
All right, give me a performance.
Don't need that thing in my life.
Don't need that thing in your life. Who needs golems?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot less effective than at first you think.
What was it? Did you say performance?
Yep.
As usual?
Yep.
That's not as good. 6. I'm just rolling a d20 here.
You're just rolling a d20. Okie dokes. So you're firing there. He's ran there.
Oh, no.
He's there. That's 1, 2, d10. Con, choose a number between 1 and 10.
Oh, God.
6.
6. Oh, okay. Let's see. The dice says 4. Okay. One of the wolves explodes as and parts of the wall behind it are fused by the dance. This bolt
This
of energy.
blue sort of...
Stones, yeah.
Sorry.
You're down to 7 wolves, I'm afraid.
Sorry, Con. Why did you bring the book? Which one is that?
I don't
That's
know.
not one of
your
mine.
job.
What?
No, I got it from the Oken.
Oh, I mean, that's just great. Fine.
Simon, give me those 2 d20s, please.
8, 17.
Okay, the explosions are getting less, the shouting is getting less as battle unfolds, and then we find ourselves on the actions of Hevent. The wolves are now going to start attacking Hevent. That is not a good place to be. She orders the golem to clear the wolves. So this is just fun and games everywhere. The golem is going to attack the wolves. The golem strikes at the wolves, and it gets 2 attacks. First attack against wolf number 1 is 27. It deals 16 points of damage. Wolf still okay?
No, that would be the end of that wolf.
All right. Second attack, second wolf is a natural 1, so it completely misses. And that is it. Hevent, who is being attacked by the wolves, does not like this at all. Does not have as many powers as she would really like, and she cannot do that to them. So she's just going to slash at them. She's just going to, natural 20.
Ooh.
And that deals 11 points of damage to the wolf. Still going?
Don't know.
Sorry. How much damage was that?
11.
No, that's on the nose. 11. Dead wolf.
Okay, so you're 3 out of 8, right? That's her first attack. Her second attack is a 17 to hit.
Yep.
And that is only 8 points of damage.
No, it's still up.
All right. Will you keep track of that one?
Yep.
I'll keep track. I don't mind.
No, I don't mind. It's all good.
All right, so that's got 8 points of damage. That's her actions. Your wolves get to attack.
Right, so we have how many wolves left? 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right, first one.
This is all against her.
All against her. Now, they have a nice little ability called Pack Tactics, which means if they're within 5 feet of active allies, they get advantage to their attack rolls.
Damn you. Damn you for attacking this particular NPC with wolves. All of them to attack with wolves. Oh.
Right, first
Does she
attack.
not have AoE? Is that...
Where are we? There it is. That is 17.
Yeah, that's a hit.
I'll just roll all the attacks.
Sure.
Oh wait, no. Actually, this matters. So that's in a successful attack. She takes 5 points of damage
Right.
and must make a strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Choose another.
Huh?
Choose another ability. I refuse to roll the strength saving throw. Strength saving throw of 6.
She goes down.
No, she does.
At which point the next wolf jumps on her
Right, advantage.
for another. Also
You have it
17.
anyways, right?
Is it? Yeah.
That's 17 bite. That is 6 damage.
I pick my wine glass up off the floor and go, do you want to reconsider the yielding thing now?
That's,
You are evil. You
Yes.
are evil.
that's an attack of 20
That's a hit.
with the damage of 8. So I've rolled 3 attacks, so there's 2 more.
First attack.
Gosh, another 20.
Yeah.
I like this advantage thing.
Yeah.
That's for
Average
4
of
damage.
+5.
Yeah.
One more attack, was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
Roll again.
15.
Triple damage. Quadruple damage.
Good grief. 7 times 4 is
Wait, not
28.
quadruple. Sorry. Triple.
Oh,
10 to
21.
11 to 15. 21.
That's the wolves done.
She is screaming in pain. She's bloodied. She is on the ground. She looks at you, Adras, and says, I beg for mercy. I'll work for you. She shouts as the wolves are ripping.
Oh, come on. We could use it for like 5 minutes at least.
Um,
Come on, please.
That's them gone. Atra, any more conversations inside the crystal?
Really,
I
come
want
on.
to get
Oh, yes,
the-
you wanted the password, yes. I am not familiar with any terms that they might have that grants that kind of exclusivity. When I used to visit Section 13, they would accompany me, and that granted me the access I so chose.
Ookily dookily. Is Jasper asleep by any chance?
Let's roll a 4. She's asleep.
Cool. See ya.
Okie dokes. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Sure. 23.
23. You bat your eyelids and awaken in your own form again. It does feel like there's an uncomfortable pressure at the back of your skull, but other than that, you seem fine.
Okay, where am I?
You are currently lying on Lily's bed, and she is sitting knitting on a chair, very quietly looking fondly at an empty teacup. It's this kind of look.
Okay. I kind of get up, kind of look around.
Oh, that was a very short nap. Don't you think you should lie down for a little bit more? We'll play a game afterwards.
So it did work.
You can work if you like, but I don't think that the Commodores would be very happy with that. I think you should just relax for now. Later on, we'll get your friends and we can play a game.
Where's my gear?
We changed you out of all of your dad's things because they were dangerous. But we weren't really sure what you'd like to wear, so that's why you're wearing one of my older gowns. Is that what you're talking about?
Kind of stand up, kind of look around. So where is it?
Wait a minute. You're not Jasper.
Now?
You're Atramentum, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, blessings upon the makers. You've returned to us. You had no idea how much trauma you were causing. Well, everyone has gone off to go and fight Section 13, so your gear, I suppose, is wherever the Commodore's put it. Your room, probably, or Captain Ty's quarters, I would imagine. Where is Jasper? Is she all right?
Yes.
I killed her, but she's fine.
Well, she just has to watch me murder things for
I killed
eternity.
her, but she's fine.
Yeah.
So good.
Right. Well, I'm not entirely sure what's happened to you, anyway. But yes, your gear, I suppose, is in your quarters.
All right. Let's get this over with. I owe your friends, Commodores.
Ah, I see. Right. Good. Okay. I have to ask this because I will die if I don't. You are planning on restoring Jasper to her own body, or
No.
at least a body, at some point, aren't you?
Why would I do this?
Well, because you can't just keep her locked away in one of your soul stones. That's no life for a child.
And she will not be.
But I don't understand. You said you weren't going to give her own body.
That is not what I said.
I see. Are you planning on letting her have her own life?
Of course.
Now?
There are people looking for her at me, and that is something I need to make sure doesn't happen. Once that situation is solved, yes. Then, not now. It would be foolish to do it now.
As long as you don't forget that she is still a little girl and that she should have her own body in which to grow up in.
She is my little girl. And I will not let any harm come to her or let her be taken away from me any more.
We don't need to talk about this now, and it's not my place to talk about it either. She has some beautiful dreams, Atra, and I would hate for them to get lost because her father is busy protecting her from the world.
That was beautifully put.
Well, I'll settle my dues, and then I will be on my way. And with a little bit of luck, this world will not end. Or so I'm told.
With a little bit of luck, you might end up with a sea captain who would be willing to raise that daughter with you. But I'm not saying anything, she says as she goes to a teacup. Oh, for fuck's sake. She puts it up.
I will leave and kind of take a look around. So the ships are rather vacant at this point, right?
The ships are completely vacant except for some humming that is coming from below the deck of the Windswift. You are on the second deck, and the third deck there is some humming.
So who is still around?
Just Lilly and yourself at the moment, and whoever is humming.
Okay. Sucks to be evil.
Can't think who's humming and moss is growing.
Could be some whistling as well, maybe.
So I will seek out the humming.
All right. There is a druid. You're vaguely aware of his presence, although you haven't seen Aldwin very much. And he is sitting, staring very intently at this green ball of moss. Opposite him is this little scaled lizard who is staring intently at him, staring intently at the moss. It's a lot of staring going on.
Very intense.
Not a lot of moss growing happening.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. From you, I bounce to Saket. There are wolves There is violence. There is a golem. Adras seems to have become drunk on the power of the stones and is just blasting at random.
Random?
What are you doing?
Yet?
I'm glad to see you've got the stones. This is good. That's part of my cunning plan. I'm glad to see
Good
you're
to see you
still
again.
alive. Yeah, it's good. I have a cunning plan. I hope you can help me with this cunning plan. But
I hope so too.
there is a slightly large clay golem in the room.
Yes.
I don't like them.
No, we should probably kill that.
Yes.
I look at Helvetia. I keep wanting to say
Event.
Helvet.
Event.
Event.
Yeah,
It's
she
yours,
doesn't-
isn't it? If you want to live, call it off.
She screams wildly, "Stop, stop, stop, stop!" That's all you hear. Cat, what are you doing?
Okay. Adras. I look sideways at Event. And
She's
I'm like,
being mauled by wolves.
okay, I saddle up to Adras.
Sure.
Like, and in a very hushed tone, we just blow the place up, and we try and get out of here before it blows up. I mean, the most I can use telekinesis to get us 30 feet away from the explosion, and then we can go from there. But we've
Yeah,
got
I think once the golem's dealt with, we're going to have a moment to take stock here.
blow things up.
Complicated.
That's my complicated, cunning plan is just blow everything up.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just,
Okay,
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
all right.
Con, could you please stop murdering that woman? She's trying to surrender.
I order the wolves to sit in a circle around her. If she moves, tear her to pieces.
Jorik,
Oh,
if,
that
she
sounds very familiar, now doesn't it?
If she tries to stand up, resume your dismantling.
consumption. Oh my god. Jorik, you come rushing up to see Saket standing next to Adras, Con looking at his wolves. His wolves seem to be starting to disengage. There is a giant goat
Yeah.
stopped moving in the doorway. And
Adras, you don't really recognize Jorik. He's looking a bit more like a psionic werewolf with pieces of flint on his face.
I sort of lean into scared. Is that Jorik? Oh, hi, Jorik!
Hi! Is everything under control?
Yeah, but no, but we're working on it. I talked
Right.
down the dragon, and we're sort of working on this thing now.
I should probably mention that Atra isn't Atra. He's Jasper.
I do not
Jorik
have time to do
slowly
that.
turns
Right now.
back into himself again.
the
What is
U-shaped
that?
device in the center of the dais starts to spin.
Okay, we need to
So-
take action.
What is this about?
We need to make that explode, I think, because it started moving. That's never a good
the
idea.
dragon's coming back.
Okay, that we definitely need to make that explode now.
I mean, there's
Hello, it's a machine. Turn it off.
pull the plug. Don't know how to turn it off. I think they're turning it on from the other side.
Oh my
Oh.
god, they can do that now?
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure they've always been able to do that. Now,
Hey,
those
hey,
two big
hey,
things.
Who's
Yeah,
that?
It's
Who's the small person?
Halfling! No, no!
Yes.
Is
That's
there a better
nice.
way of turning this thing down than exploding everything?
You're the god. She
Shut
said.
up!
You really don't want to live
I've missed
past today,
something.
do you?
Leave
No,
all
the
that.
dragons control it, obviously. I was just waiting for you to figure that out.
All right.
God,
Of course I know they
okay.
control it. God, I
Give
just,
me a second. Meow!
Well, can
I just sort of
hire-
assumed that we could shut it down temporarily from this side. Because if we don't deal with the pocket dimension that they're in, they're not going to be dealt with. And we're not going to go in there after them, are we?
Right.
We
Right.
just need them to stop sticking their head through in this room right now.
Okay, can I
All
fire
right.
lightning bolts at that thing? I mean, would that help?
Sure, probably.
Comes to
Can
magic.
I even make a dexterity saving throw to do
Those
All right,
things
so-
produce magic.
In the chaos of shouting for Mios and demanding answers from poor old Event, Saket, you are throwing a lightning bolt. At what? At the spinning
the
hoop?
spinning thing?
At
Yeah.
the
No.
engine that is glowing on the left, or the engine that's glowing on the right, which seems to be feeding energy into this hoop as it's starting to spin faster and faster.
Oh, I see. We got two battery cells going, powering
Yeah.
this. Okay, that. I think I'm still gonna go for the hoop.
Oh, wow.
All right, you
This could
blast
result. Did a
lightning
really
bolt
nasty explosion.
into
Okay.
the spinning hoop.
Okay, so let's have a look. That's 7.
I take this opportunity to drink a healing potion.
Good
Good
call.
choice.
Oh, 22. 22 plus 7 is 29 damage to the spinny hoopy
Okay.
thing.
Well,
Let's
you
hope I
do
don't
29
lose
points of
myself.
damage. Let's figure out to whom. The bolt sails straight towards the spinning hoop, and it slams into it and bounces off in a random direction. So
Okay,
by
that
my
was
count, we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people in the room. I am going to reduce that down to 10 people in the room and say that one of the wolves is sitting right in line with the other wolf, so it looks like there's one less. That's how that's working, because it's trick photography, and it's a wolf with 2 tails. That's okay. So pick a
Tails.
number between 1 and 10. Con.
3.
Jorik.
4.
Also take 3 to mess with them.
Paquette.
10.
Adras.
5.
3, 4, 5, 10. I'm rolling the d10 now. 9.
Ooh. It just burns past your ear, kind of.
Narrowly misses you and blasts into the giant form of the golem, dealing 29 points of damage to the golem, who sort of flickers a little bit but remains standing and still.
That thing!
Okay, I'm sorry. This is
All right, so Kate, that's what you've done. Jorik, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get Mios' attention so they can get the freaking cat ballistas in here.
Wait.
Yeah, you do grab Mios's attention, and he comes running down. He's got his shirt's been torn open, and there's a certain dramatic heroicness to the damage that he's taking. You're looking at him going, you miserable hero, you, because he looks, there's the lock of hair that's slightly swished. He sort of gives you this look. Yes, what can I do for you, Commodore?
We need the ballistas, both of them, here.
We only have one left, I'm afraid.
Fine, we need one of them.
It's only got 1 shot left, sir. Must I still bring it?
I just realized something, that historically
Yes,
engines have been keeping portals closed and not open, and this could be a similar thing. Why can't I know everything about this now? I should know this by now.
None of us know this by now. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Just that I'm the one that there's a
just
point to
fired a
keeping me
lot-
around if I know things.
Yeah, I just
The
fired
thing
lightning
was
bolt at the spinny thing.
30
That was
feet
not wise.
Wide, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not going to do anything.
But we did bring magical units. Would that help, Adras?
I don't know. Maybe.
That's how I blew up the last engine. Was I overheated it and then got some magical units around it that kind of added, and then I drove the ship into the dragon.
God, I should.
Can we dismantle the outer engines to prevent the center one from working?
No, I don't think so. I think it's quite possible that the outer ones are preventing it's stabilizing the rift. If it's anything like the other engines that we've encountered.
So, suggestions.
Con, what are you doing?
Watching.
It's like,
Okay, well, this is completely outside of my area of expertise.
Okay.
Right.
Stones and portals and stuff. So I'm just making sure that we're not interrupted by unexpected enemies.
Right. Right now, my best option is to go back in the book and strike a deal with Argyle so that I can turn the dragon dimension into some kind of cheesy snack.
Wait, sorry, what? No. Wait, hang on. Is that a good idea? I mean, hang on.
It's not a good idea, but I'm quickly running out of options and I'm being herded towards the rewriting reality one.
Yeah, but couldn't you turn into the book? I mean, how many times have you been into that thing?
I won't actually be going into the book as much as it. complicated.
And you still haven't told me who Argyle is.
Yes, it's not right now, okay? Not right now.
This screaming, shouting is going on around as the hoops have now started to coalesce into an opening rift, which starts to reveal the dragon realms beyond. Atra, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So there is one druid and one little lizard friend.
Yes.
Its name was 9?
Yep.
Okay. I will try to get the attention of 9.
It looks up at you and blinks.
And I will tell it that I have something to eat for it.
It hops up, looks back at the moss, looks at the druid, looks at you with its big, big blinking eyes, looks back at the moss. It starts hopping towards you, Atra. One last look at the moss over its shoulder, and then very guiltily it starts to follow you.
All right. And when we're out of ear and eye shot of the druid, I will give it a glowing-looking crystal.
It looks at the crystal, it looks at you.
Oh, you.
Ow!
Eat.
Oh, you mean peasant.
It did say sucks with evil.
Looks at the stone. It sort of licks the stone and kind of shivers and whistles low. Oh, and then just crunches down and it sits there crunching away. It's almost like a dog with peanut butter. It's kind of chewing it into all of its little teeth, and it's got little flecks. There's little bits falling into its chin and on the ground. It's just whistling away quite happily as it chews on this soul stone. And there is this very delicate little evaporation of purple mist which releases as he crunches down on the stone. But it doesn't seem to faze him. He simply sort of hops around and inhales the mist as he thinks it's part of the cuisine and sort of sucks it into his lungs and then sort of exhales it a little bit later on and burps quietly and then continues to munch down on the stone. You watch happily.
Indeed.
Okay, Jorik, what are you doing? This portal.
Yeah. What do I do?
You hear the guys shouting, "No, bring the ballista!" But
Yeah.
it's still a round or two before they get there.
I guess I'm just gonna stand in front of the portal, looking
Sure.
full of blood and stuff.
This is a 40-foot wide portal now and about 60 foot high. It is literally becoming a window into this realm where you can see this massive black scaled leg seems to be resting or waiting. Con?
I'm just gonna stand in front of the portal for now. Just looking superior, I guess.
And by the way, if it was not clear, I would get my gear and then head to the teleportation.
Yeah. Con?
Adras,
Mm-hmm.
we know that you can use those stones to kill a dragon. We've
Mhm.
seen you do it, so I'm not too concerned about this portal opening right now, because when
Mhm.
that scaly bastard shows his face, you're going to use the stones on him, right?
Sure.
Okay. Wander over to
Event?
Event. So what exactly was the plan here? Condense it for me. What's this? What are the engines doing in relation to the portal?
I'm not an engineer, so I can't give you the full details, but those three devices there secure the portal open once it's been opened.
Right. So we do need to destroy them.
If that's your goal, I won't stop you from doing it.
What's your goal?
Right now, survival. And since the dragons don't seem to be able to help me, I don't think I should be helping them.
Interesting.
That was the deal that was offered to me by You're a god over there.
When I said that, I might have been, overstating things a little bit.
Your
Well, you did
exact
say that
words
you were
were,
cunning.
and I'll become a god or something.
Yes, and the fact that you believed me is part of the whole reason why I said it.
She looks at you, Con. I don't think either I or you believe that she was pretending that was her course of action. That's going to be her course of
Well,
action.
all right, maybe after this, I'm going to have some words with certain gods, right? And maybe, tear them apart and do that whole thing. And maybe after that, I have some new rules to write. But nothing like reality shaping.
Well, I think our original plan stands. Blow up all the engines.
Yes.
We could wait until the dragon sticks its head through, and then we blow up the engine. I think that would be rather spectacular.
Yes, quite.
We would.
Let's do.
Slam the door shut.
Yes.
Let's get all the magical units we have in here and stacked up against some engines, shall we?
Yes, I might be able to, distract him until you do that. I'll keep him talking.
Mios, everyone who is still alive and in working order, have them fetch magic units in here. All of it.
They are, well, there is a ragtag bunch that are left. There was a lot of damage done to the crew. Every now and again, there's still the sound of battle raging on. There are the two barbarians that were carrying, well, they're now dragging the ballista. There is Mios and a very tired-looking badger who is hanging on the end of the ballista. Running up behind his cabin, he's holding the last of the ballista bolts that is infused with the magic unit. Saket, what are you doing while all this screaming and shouting is going on? Another lightning bolt?
No, I think we'll need the lightning bolts alone. Okay, I decide, we can use the stones to blow everything up.
Sure, but I mean, it's probably better if you used other things. I think enough magic units stacked around should do it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we go with that plan. Okay, awesome. No Bjorn?
What?
Where's Bjorn?
Biora?
Biora.
I don't know.
Is he dragging the ballista
Unit
into
names, it's the
position?
best.
That's
It's
awesome.
so close and so far.
Okay. Mios, is this everybody who's left?
Not currently engaged in fighting.
Okay. All right, guys, this is the final stand. Is everybody ready? You see that giant scaly leg thing?
Adras, you hear a voice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Adras,
Ah, there you are.
you can know everything now if you want to.
And
You know?
what'll that cost me?
You get the sense of a smile rather than someone saying something.
Mm-hmm. Look, you've been stalking me for a while. Obviously. I know you think I'm interesting.
Adras is currently talking to themselves. For the
Yes. I'd kind of like to make some sort of deal here because I know you're interested.
I'm listening.
Help me out, and I'll give you a show.
What do you need?
Well, I would like some control over that little dimension that we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I imagine it takes some writing, some changing of certain rules, rewriting certain paragraphs. You know how it is.
Why don't you come see me and we can talk about it?
Sure. How long is that going to take? Because we're kind of on a time limit here.
Do you think time has any meaning here?
No, but in a meta sense, it might. I'm just saying. No, fine. I mean, we can talk it over. We can have a long, fine discussion.
You open up the book that Con brought.
Did Con give me the book?
He did.
Yeah, sure.
You
Fine.
see Adras suddenly grab the book, open it up, and cat and book drop to the ground completely unconscious.
I go and sit next to Cat and Book.
They did say something like this was going to be done.
As you take seat next to Adras, the portal completely opens up, and there is this massive black dragon busy standing, looking in. When the dragon looks in, it looks incredibly confused. It sees a very unmoving Adras and then the captains of the Windswift standing near. There is an unhappiness. The kit, what are you doing?
Lightning bolt. This is the time for the lightning bolt.
I'm just gonna have to use that. There is an unhappiness.
Hi. What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Unhappiness.
Unhappiness. Oh, that's right. I'm unhappy too.
Windswift, unhappiness, Windswift.
Okay, I mean, I don't kind of want to anger the dragon at this stage. I need to stall and give it us time because Adras is unconscious on the floor.
Yep.
The only one who can work the stones because none of us can do that funky Macarena. So
We're not ballerinas.
No. I'm like, hi there, and how are you today?
We're live.
Is this really all you had to, set up against us?
Yeah.
You really
What
should
is
have
it?
picked better servants.
Taunting the dragon, are we?
That's good
point.
I mean,
In
fair.
the face of a dragon taunted. All right, I get you. Jorik, we're back on initiative. We're keeping the initiative from before. What are you doing?
Well, I do say that,
with 100.
standing there covered in pieces of flint.
Sure.
Lost management.
Basically, what Jorik is going to try and do is keep the dragon annoyed, but stalling. So basically keeping it... He's going to try and feed its arrogance so that it wants to keep talking and belittling us in order for me to buy time. That is what Jurik's going to do, because he knows enough about dragons by now that they have an exploitable arrogance. So that's what he's going to try and do.
Okay. What are you saying to it?
Well, I'm starting with that. You really should have picked better servants. Or done this yourself. Why didn't you do this yourself? Then you wouldn't have this problem.
Okay. Are you positioning yourself in any way within the chamber itself?
No, he's just standing in front of the portal.
Yeah.
Out
Yes.
of immediate breath range.
You are standing in front of the portal. Gotcha. Con, you are sitting next to Adras, the flappy. What are you doing now?
I look up at the dragon.
Yeah. You can smell it, and it has this rank aroma of old scales and desert, malice, hatred, and uric acid.
Bloody hell, you do smell in person, don't you? So, we meet at last. Am I to assume I am addressing the architect of all of this? Or are you just yet another minion in the chain of minions?
What have you done with the cat?
Which cat? Oh, I see. Well, I think the excitement was all a bit much for them. really. Excitable creatures, Cathar.
Restore her.
No. Or, more correctly, why?
All right. All right, Adras,
Yes.
you are in an all too familiar dark space.
Yes. Home sweet home. Right. So you want to talk? Let's talk.
The books start to gather around you in their friendly, happy state. And when you look down, you notice that they are tugging at pages that are attached to yourself.
Argyle, this is not what I wanted.
You've got to give to get.
Really? Is this it? Don't you know enough about me? You want to absorb me up? You want to kill me?
Do I look dead to you?
No, you don't. But you're not like
Do
me,
the
are you?
others look dead to you? Shall I go and tell them? Nope, stop trying to bring order to the chaos. You're dead.
You want me to stay here with you? Is that it? Is that your price?
Isn't that much more entertaining than running around on some little dirt ball?
Maybe in a while, but I've got some things to sort out first.
Well, you can return and sort them out. You can have your pages back. But I cannot possibly fathom what would be more interesting sorting out one lifetime's worth of things, or, you know, and as he lifts his hands, just billions of books appear. All of life's issues could be sorted out by you. I mean, one life. All of life.
You don't exactly strike me as the type who want me to sort things out.
And you don't strike me as the type who would just sort things out.
I guess you know me better than anyone else does then.
Let's go and play. There's a planet where the crustaceans control everything. It's awfully boring. We could land an asteroid filled with apes and watch as they fight over the resources and give them mythology to try and worship, perhaps. We could make you a real god on that planet. And then on another planet, we could be worms, and we could infest someone's intestines and burst out of them at exactly the wrong moment in the middle of a party and watch as there's absolute chaos and panic all over the universe. We could stop the universe and just start it all over again and just try using, I don't know, let's see, water balloons.
But you need me to do all that, don't you?
Oh, you've met the others. They're boring. They don't want to do that. They want to make sure everything works nicely and flows and rules. You don't care about the rules. There's more to it. You know there's more to it. So you gotta give up being on the real world. It's not all that's cracked up to be.
Sure. I mean, you've got a point there. But then again, you know, I never really cared for being a Commodore, and I'm not so sure I'll care for being a god. Honestly. I just want to sort some things out. And after that, once I have, I'll come with you. And we can do whatever fun things you want. How's that?
So you get to sort things out. I have to wait. Then when you're ready, then you'll come and entertain me.
as you said, time doesn't have a meaning here.
Yes, it doesn't have a meaning here, but why bother sorting things out? It doesn't matter. Just change it.
Call it a wake, a eulogy. If you want me to stop being who I was, I'm going to need, say...
To die in the real world. Done.
No,
Elephant.
God.
I'm thinking elephant.
No, Argyle, stop it. No. Come back. Here.
Too big.
Here. I'm here. No, look. I'm saying letting me finish things up back on the world, the material plane, is my funeral. It's my eulogy. It's my I don't know, grand finale. What do you want to call it?
Magnum opus.
Magnum opus.
I was going to say swan
My
song.
last
Okay.
hurrah.
Give me a
I
wisdom
would
saving.
like to stir some shit up. Right. I promise you it's not going to be boring. I'm not going to settle things down. I'm not going to shelve all the issues in their neat little boxes. I'm going to stir shit up. I'm going to spread some fucking power around. Because right now, there's some serious power imbalances going on, and I'd like to spread it out a little bit. Doesn't that sound fun?
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Ah! You know I was great at those. 16.
16. Atra, you step into the stone room that is Section 13's primary magic circle chamber. And it's easy to hear the sounds of battle and things. Rushing past the open doorway is Captain Ty. She seems to be in a bit of pain as she's talking. It sounds as if she's taking damage to the ribs. She is ordering the last of the crew to take up a defensive position around this chamber where the Commodores are based. They are sealing off the final problem. That's what you hear. I assume you're invisible?
Obviously.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Seems to be that away.
Yeah, as you step onto the corridor, there are dead gnomes. There are a variety of dead animals. There are humans. There are elves. It's just, it literally looks like a war has happened. Walls are scorched with damage from magical blasts and other energy devices and things. It's not difficult to follow Ty. Every now and again, part of this little party of 6 stop as a gnome is sort of staggering to their feet, and they beat it, club it, stab it, or otherwise maul it to death as they fight their way down this corridor. You're literally just following them?
I mean, if I kind of see more of them or the destination of where they're heading, I would then, if
Move
possible,
faster.
move faster. But generally speaking, there's no interaction I want to do right now.
Okay.
Because
Gotcha. You continue to follow down. The dragon looks down at the 3 of you. You have not caused the cats to come back. You all need to give me dexterity saving throws, please. Because as he's looking at you, he suddenly just goes and just blasts the entire chamber with this horrific vapor of his breath attack.
15.
15's a number.
Oh, God.
it's a number between 1 and 20.
18.
It's a number between dead and crispy.
Okay.
Well done. It's well done.
It's well done. Yeah. Jorik?
I had to read up on the scale mail, but I have advantage on that
Sure.
saving throw. So a natural 20, 25.
There
Nice.
you go. You take half.
Of 1 million.
Right. So that means, good grief, Con and Sket, the 2 of you take 40 points of damage each.
40.
And Jorik, you take 20.
What damage type is it?
Acid.
Ouchie.
It's a black boy.
It's lots of damage. You did.
Yeah, I just need to know if I had resistance to it, but I do not.
As he finishes exhaling, he looks down at you and says, "Am I just a minion of the forces of dragons? It matters not to the insignificant worms that you are. Restore the cat or die."
I casually pop out another healing potion and down it.
Just in defiance.
I'm fine.
I think I'll be doing the same. I can't actually think, so I need to just use a calculator here. I'm sleep deprived as it is, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using. Oh yeah, I'm so squishy.
Such an all-powerful dragon seems to be rather keen for a little worm to be brought back into their presence.
Okay, so on initiative, Jorik, are you going to continue just to goad the dragon?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue stalling for time.
Has
How has that been working out so far?
It's working great so far.
Okay.
You do know that if you kill us, we can't rouse the cat, right? You do know that.
I don't think there is.
That wasn't very clever of you.
Think. Little better than a beast, really, isn't it?
Ooh.
I mean, if you don't,
Emotions, petulant child almost. I mean, look at this tantrum it's throwing. When
Oh my god, Con! Don't die!
yeah, I know. By the way, do you see the armor I'm wearing? Isn't it nice?
Oh my god.
God, what are you two doing?
I sort of nudge Adras out of the corner of my mouth and go, hurry up, whatever it is you're doing.
Hurry the fuck off! We're dying here.
You tell me timing something!
There is unfortunately the limp body of the cat. Doesn't seem.
So what happened to the cat though? She was still in the room.
I just like to say I'm not with these two.
I don't know them.
Beloved, I'm gonna try and bring the cat back for you. Right now, I left the cheese on the boat. On the boat.
The legendary cheese.
Oh, my stinky cheese.
All right. Just to be clear, are you officially denouncing Con and Jorik?
No, not officially. I'm trying to buy myself time.
Right. It doesn't seem to really care too much about.
Actually, yes. I'm gonna go. What? Really? You're just gonna? Really?
Yeah.
And then yeah, she picked up on it.
There was.
We're gonna start nabbing between each other instead.
There was a choked scream from her vent very briefly as she melted into a puddle of goo.
She had it coming.
Yeah, she couldn't take that much damage after the wolves. Atramentum, you arrive just ahead of the first officer, because the moment you can see the double doors and you can see this large black dragon on the other side of it, and Con and Jorik defiantly standing in front of it, apparently having a casual conversation. You know that you're in the right place, or at least you're in the place that they are. It might not be
That's the right place.
the right place. What are you doing?
Waiting. Here. Not yet.
Out of range.
So how far away am I at this point?
At this point in time, well, it's up to you. You can see them from 70 feet away.
Okay. And what's the other situation? I know that the rest of the survivors from the Windswift forces were kind of concentrating here.
Correct.
So what's the immediate kind of area around this? This is like a gauntlet.
It's a long, straight corridor, 20 foot wide and 60 foot high. And the stragglers are behind you. They're busy dragging this ballista. They seem to be trying to get it to at least the double doors that look down into this chamber.
Look down into this chamber.
Yeah, the chamber's sunken in slightly. So there's a set of stairs that goes down into it.
Cool.
And they're trying to get the ballista.
And you say these are big double doors, 20 feet wide. Are the doors also 60 feet up?
Yes, they are. And they have been pushed open.
60 feet up. It's 20 meters, man. It's crazy. Okay. Cool. What I will do is use my wings and fly up even further to be
Sure.
out of the immediate kind of breath direction.
Yes. Yes.
That seems like a plan.
Right.
And also not be standing in the immediate vicinity of the troops, which could also erase the ire, but I will wait outside for now. I will stay, let's say, like 60-ish feet, more than 60 feet away. So basically what I imagine is this more or less a little bit behind the doorway, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, does this
Perfect.
make sense?
Yeah.
And I will see what happens because the element of surprise
Sure. Without a doubt.
could be
Could be useful.
Could be good.
Saket, apart from denouncing life and the captains, what are you doing?
I'm like nudging Adras, like, we have much time. you need to hurry up in there and wake up, and then we can do our thing. And then I'm not going to telekinesis as I got the wrong spell. I'm going to dimension doors out of here. Just wake up now, please. Come on.
Jorik's gonna stand in front of the dragon and go, just
Counter heal.
so you were saying?
You're drinking potions.
And another thing.
You doing that? Adras, back to you.
I don't know why we're even arguing about this. Like, I'm giving you what you want. So what's the big deal about me getting something burst?
Well, that's just the thing. You are exactly giving me what I want.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Right. Oh,
So
yeah.
you've explained why you want to go back. I understand that. And I just say no. And now you've got to come up with another reason why you should go back. You see?
Oh, what have you done?
To argue with an insane person is hard.
Look, if you make me stay here, it's not going to be a lot of
I'm
fun.
not making you stay here. You can go whenever you like.
Well, you're making me stay here because if I go back with nothing, we're all going to die. And the world is going to be dragony. And I don't want that. Look, I'm not saying this is a regular, like, exchange of power. Give me power and I'll give you my soul or whatever, because that's not where we're at.
No. Because, you could just change that. So what's the point?
Yes. If I go back out right now, are you going to help me? Am I going to have the power to do what I need to do?
What do you need to do?
I need to make that dragon dimension go away. I want to close it. Snap it shut. And then maybe I want to go rewrite other things. Some rules of magic and stuff.
cheese.
Yes,
Right.
maybe I want to go rewrite the rules of magic.
That's what you
Afterward.
want.
Yes. Afterwards.
He sort of sticks out his hand.
All right. And then, all right then. Let's take it.
No, too slow.
Damn you. I fucking jump him and I just say, oh, give me your hand, you piece of shit.
No!
No, come here.
No!
Shit. Yeah. I sort of grab it and I sort of take it and I shake it and then I sort of do my best to wake back up.
As you're shaking it, he lifts up his left hand, and then he lifts up a third hand, which is another right hand. Like, ah!
Ah! Punch. No. No, I don't punch him. I lean in and I kiss him. Straight on the lips.
Books
And then
explode, pages sail out in all different
Fan
directions.
fiction is written.
and then I'm going to wake up.
Or wake up making out with the book.
Oh god. Pa, pa, pa. Hi! Ow! What the hell, man?
That's about time.
Hello.
Sorry. Hi.
Welcome back.
See, we did it.
Yeah.
Cat's back.
Cat's back. Great. Don't kill
Barty
him.
over here has been eagerly awaiting your return.
Yes, I can
And
imagine.
really vomiting too.
Hi.
Really?
I-
Do you have any bodily functions that aren't disgusting?
Tell me how to take over other dimensions and worlds.
I don't
Here,
have to
let
tell
me
you.
show you.
I don't have to tell you. I can show you.
In
And
the
then
story-
I reach my hands out and I bring them together as if I'm crumpling a ball of paper into crumpling paper into a ball, sort of reaching for whatever he has, like whatever connection that he has given me in this weird deal that I'm not sure I quite understand yet.
As you do this, all of you see the realm where the dragon is standing. It's half out of the portal. The realm just suddenly starts crumpling in as if it's being scrunched together. And the dragon looks back in absolute mortification as the ball just gets smaller and smaller and crunched down. Adras, I need you to give me a dexterity check.
Uh-huh.
I thought a saving throw against paper was coming.
Paper cut! Oh, paper cut! No. 18.
The worst kind of guts. Between the fingers.
Oh no!
What did you get?
18.
The dragon sees what's happening. It turns and it just launches itself forward out of the portal. What do you do once you've done that?
I use prestidigitation and I cause a flame to burst out between my hands. I'm gonna burn it.
Everybody give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god.
You burned the wrong dimension!
Please keep it.
Dex, where are you? There you are.
My freaking mouse.
8.
Oh, well, come on! 10.
16?
All right.
I got beat by the Sagetti. What the hell?
7.
Okay, those of you that passed, you take 10 points of damage.
Am I
Who
also
did you
everybody?
pass?
No, because you said you were 60 foot away, right?
Okay, so I'm not everybody.
Okay,
Got it.
sorry. Yes. Apologies. Yes, you are more than 60 foot out. So I believe the only person who passed was Saket.
Wow.
Yes, everybody
Okay,
else
so
takes
makes
21 points of damage. Saket, you take 10.
Well, yeah,
How-
okay.
Because as you are doing this and you create this magical flame, the crumpled world collapses in on itself and then erupts in flame. But there is the portal that is still linked there. So this tremendous gout of flame bursts out of the open portal, burning the dragon as it's leapt forward. It did not leap forward fast enough as the portal collapsed behind itself, severing the beast in half.
You.
Parts of it burst forward. Flame wraps around it and engulfs most of the chamber.
Why did I stand in front of the portal?
Ew!
I'm gonna be drowned in fire and dragon guts.
Washes out over you and then vanishes just as quickly. The two plinths behind the beast, the two remaining, both of those crumple and the magic energy around them just winks out of existence. The chamber is absolutely silent. All that you can hear is the fluttering of pages.
So I'm
Did we do
fairly
it?
sure, but I want to make doubly sure. The dragon is dead to the...
Nth degree.
The head rises up slowly, its eye looks, and then the whole thing collapses.
Just as it looks up, from somewhere in the midst of its guts, just this comes up. Fuck you! I have no
Adras-
faith in that working. What did you
Adras-
do,
is-
Adras?
Adras is lying on the floor, having been thrown back by the fire. The front is burnt, and they are down for the count.
And mostly pages.
Is it just me or is Adras a book?
Yes. What? Lots of cat, but Lots of books.
Weren't they always, really?
So, with the portal being closed and the dragon being dead, I then would land and drop the invisibility.
Oh, and now you arrive. Yeah, because that's good timing once again.
Oh no!
Okay.
Hold on the fire, Mayos.
Hold it! You guys one shot.
This ballista sails between your horns, Atra, as they rolled a 7 to hit, and it impacts on the opposite end of the chamber into the wall, where it quietly explodes, showering out bits of masonry and concrete, but not doing very much. Oh, it's you! I'm so sorry, Atra!
Now,
as soon as
the
Jorik
most
gets on
curious
his
thing
feet.
would be that now that Atra is visible, that he is wearing makeup.
Good look there. Okay, I'm running over to what is left of Adras. Like, Adras.
Yeah, Jorik too. As soon as he realizes that Adras is out for the count.
You've turned into a library.
Con.
Life goals.
Yes.
Yeah, once I've established the dragon is dead, I turn my attention to. I pick up. Is the book still there?
Oh, yes.
I pick up the book, shove that under my robes, and go and look at Adras.
I would like to. So Yorick is still underneath the half dragon corpse, right?
Does he?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm trying to swim my way
out.
out of it.
I would try to help him excavate himself out of the dragon sadness.
Thank you.
Captain Ty comes limping over to you, Atra, as you are helping Jorik manhandle the body of this beast. And she looks and she says, Jasper. She launches onto you. She doesn't care about Commodore Jorik. Her girlfriend is no longer a 12-year-old girl. This makes her happy. She,
I'm glad.
she just launches herself onto to Atra. Mios sort of slides and slicks through the sludge as he makes his way towards you, Jorik. And as he gets there, he snaps off this very pristine salute, even though he's wounded to all hell. I'm happy to report, sir, that we have taken the facility.
And I'm happy to report that we have taken the dragon.
I think we
Good
have
job.
succeeded,
Yes.
and we didn't even need to blow things up. But can someone help me gather up Adras, please?
As you say, when you blow things up, everyone looks around at the blackened room, the
Okay,
scorch marks,
finally.
the blown up dais, the blown wall.
I mean, to be fair, from her perspective, this is
This isn't too bad.
That's how it should be.
not a real blow up. Last time this happens, a city went.
Yeah.
The building is still standing.
Adras, how are you dying or are you just unconscious?
I'm on like 14 less hit points than I have, so I'm on 0.
Do you?
But I don't know.
This is what you wanted. That was a pretty good death. I would give you like
I'd like to do one more thing.
You want to do it again?
No, I'd like to do one more thing.
You're dead.
I'm not dead, right? Well, who cares if I'm here, right? I want to do one more thing. I have an old friend that I want to rewrite. Would that be okay?
How are we going to rewrite this old friend of yours?
Oh, it's going to
Maybe
be
a
great.
new friend. Or maybe
Yes.
not a friend at all, but actually a lamppost.
Oh, that's so tempting. Do you want to know who it is?
Yes.
Tandas.
Tandas? Who the hell's Tandas?
He's a god. I want to rewrite him. to make him better. Because honestly, he really sucked before. I've got a plan, you see. You see, there are a lot of people who are called slaves out there in the world, and I would like Tandis to be the new god of slaves. And I would like, if anybody is called a slave, that they are suddenly given magic powers of quite intense ferocity. And I would like that to be Tandis' job from now on.
Wait, Tandas is the god of magic, not slaves.
No, but I'd like him to be the god of slaves, giving magic to slaves.
That could be fun.
I think that's a great idea. And then we can do your thing.
Done. Okay.
Nice.
5 minutes, he says, and he just boops you on the nose, and suddenly you are awake. You are on 0 hit points, but you are...
Yeah, there are papers.
You can literally see the pages fluttering off of Adras icon. What are you doing with this?
I don't know what to do. This is well outside of the realms of my abilities or knowledge or powers to do anything about. So I am crouched next to Adras when she opened her eyes, I guess.
All right.
That worked, right? Yeah, of course it worked.
Know.
I'm great.
It looks like
What?
you did it, I think.
Yes, I just have to do one more thing. I have like 5 minutes.
Right.
5 minutes? That's not very long.
No,
How do you
it's
know
fine.
that?
Easy. Are you sure we're done?
Yeah, there's no more dragons. They're gone. The dragon dimension is gone. It's no more.
At
I
what
burned it.
cost?
Well, I've got 5 minutes left. Is that what you mean?
Well, 4 minutes 30 at this point.
Yes. Yes. I'm just going to sort of reach down and I'm going to pick up a paper. And it goes, does anybody have a pen?
Of course.
I just need to write a letter to an old friend.
I hand her a pen.
I'm just going to go, dear Tandis, fuck you. Welcome to your new job. And then I'm going to sort of just infuse the words with the intent that I mentioned earlier.
So give me the wording.
Tandis will become the god of slaves. He will grant them magic. He will grant magic to anybody who is declared as property.
Adesai, do you know what you're doing here? I mean, that's can you even do that?
I've really liked hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, we like hanging out with you
It's been
too.
fun.
Wait, don't you dare die before I get there!
I'm sorry, Jorik. You got your sister now, so you got like a sister still.
Can you not die? That would be great.
Sorry.
Please.
I kind of have to. There's not a lot left of me in this world now.
Their paw turns to pages. You've got one paw left and face. Con, this looks exactly like the Oken.
But, you know, I think I had a pretty good run.
Well,
You're
take this
turning
with you.
into a library. I know this was like your ultimate goal in life, but really, you're going to do it now?
It's okay. I'll be around.
But she takes it
You'll be
quite
around.
literally.
I'm a literal person.
Well, Adras, I thank you for everything. You're the first person I actually cared about.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you, Jorik. You're a much better person than you think.
Now who's going to
Well, now I am, thanks to you.
Places.
Just
But correct me if I'm wrong. You're not really dying, are you?
not really, no. But I'm leaving.
Well,
Very well.
I guess I can live with that.
I don't
I'll
think
be around.
Remember us
think-
fondly.
I will. I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun in the next few years.
Going to be busy anyway.
And then I think they just sort of...
Mias shouts, "All eyes front!" And everyone lines up of the remaining crew and looks and salutes.
Aw. and then they just sort of fall apart.
Into pages.
Sorry. All the
That
way
is
to
the
go
most
at
fitting
time.
end ever.
And so we pull back from this chamber where the dragons have been defeated by a sacrifice, or is it a beginning of Commodore Adras, leaving the Oken Con to deal with a little political problem, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or more. There is the dark, dark journey ahead of Jorik, as he and his sister need to explore some things that were left unsaid. And Cpt herself has a past that is as yet untapped. What is to become of Atramentum and his daughter? At least I got the daughter part right. Well, what is to become of them? Who knows? Will they manage to escape the Cabalia's attention now that he has completely sworn against them? Well, maybe we'll find out in the near future. I want to thank each and every single one of you, of my wonderful, wonderful players, for this amazing journey that we have been on. Cast your minds back to the very first episode of the Kadandachi battles and then the deserts. It really has been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful run, and I do thank each and every one of you. And then our new players who joined us. Seems like only the other day that we were going back in time, repeating, as poor old Blackston was trying to solve the problem of doing a time loop. Anyway, and to you, of course, our followers who have been with us through it all, unwavering, always forgiving of my technical blunders, always supporting of the crew, and always theorizing and hypothesizing as to how things are going to happen and how they're going to play out. I do have to thank you for your support there. It has been absolutely wonderful. Is this the end of the Windswift? Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we will return in the future once things have settled down. But from us, let's go through quickly, everybody, as we do a final farewell from the crew of the Windswift. Let's start with the Oken, Hanodana.
Well, yes, didn't expect things to turn out like this, or when we set off on our adventures all that long ago. Certainly, Con was never one who wanted to try and right the world's wrongs, but he ended up wanting to anyway.
I remember a very young doctor, a very young Con, who didn't really want to be in charge either, and let the other captains sort of drive things. A whiskey-drinking doctor who kept to his office. Quite different now.
Forced to take a more active role in things because it turned out that he cared more about things than he thought he did, and couldn't leave it alone.
Yeah, couldn't leave it alone. Now he's in charge of an empire that has written some very unusual letters to 3 leaders who are currently going, this is what the druids have sent us. We started this, so we are going to finish it.
Oh no!
What does that even mean? This is not a symbol of peace. You did say she could write it in her own words, and you did say we began it, so we should end it. But yes, who knows?
Just gonna get a talking to on the next staff meeting, I bet.
Minions everywhere. Did you have fun on your trip?
I did, and in no small part that would be due to my fellow players. It's been great fun interacting with you, and the fact that it's always been a nice spread of diverse approaches. We haven't been the samey group. Each has brought something interesting and unique and entertaining to this group, and that has pushed our story forward in all the different directions, and made for some rather quirky and amusing and entertaining and exciting times, as we've found possibly some very unconventional ways to deal with certain things along the way. But yeah, no, I'd just like to say thank you to you as well, Guy, for running the game to this point. It's been good. I've really had a great deal of fun playing Con, and moving him from his sort of back, as you say, a Dr. McCoy supporting character to finding himself increasingly having to be more direct and bossy.
To take charge.
Some of greatness thrust upon them, as they say.
Absolutely, absolutely. I also remember a time when Con was trying to become a paladin or a fighter, or what was it? It was...
Yes, Con, had very different ideas about his path initially. But yes, experience molds character in many ways. And as we all start off with one idea and end up with another, so his plans for his own future and how he wanted to conduct himself changed. He was very much headed towards a more pacifist, fight only in defense kind of a philosophy, but the world does not allow for that always.
No.
And he came to feel and believe that he needed to take more direct and sometimes aggressive, murderous action to right the world's wrongs.
Well, I don't know if that's a positive
And
way
that's
to end off the character, but certainly seems like an accurate D&D character if ever there was one.
Certainly a degree of arrogance in assuming that one can right all the world's wrongs.
Yes, there was that. That has been expressed by a few characters in tonight's game. Absolutely. Tobias, Jorik.
Oh, wow. It's been a ride, for sure. Both for Jorik and myself, to say the least. Coming into this group with such fantastic role players and such a fantastic GM, I have learned a lot about role-playing in general and storytelling in general. And it's been great fun. Jorik's come a long way from being the sort of weeaboo loner elf thing to what he is today. It's going to be very interesting, really, to ponder and think of where he goes from now on, because he's always been a tool for the order. Or yes, that he has. No, but he's always seen himself as a tool, and now that the object that he was meant to keep away is gone for good, who is he really? So he's probably going to have a lot of time reconnecting with his sister and trying to find who he really is when he isn't on a crusade to save the universe.
There are still the vampires.
There are still the vampires, indeed.
And you still have a friend in high places with the druids.
So there will probably be things to do up ahead, but he doesn't feel the weight of the world on his shoulders anymore, which is a big thing. And he's strangely okay with Adras' departure. They didn't just die for no reason. It felt like Adras got to do something important and has something important to do in the future. So it doesn't feel like they're dead. They're just moving on. So, well, I have fun. I could probably talk about this for like 3 hours, but I'll probably repeat myself like to no end. So I'm just going to stop here.
We'll be in the Discord if anyone wants to hear more.
Yeah, there's some talking about this.
I think of all the people who joined the Windswift, I mean, Tobias, you've really taken to the community as well. Part of Discord, you're a moderator on the Discord as well. So yeah, I think it's. I think of Jorik's journey to get his sister back. I'm glad that we managed to get that in terms of timing. So explore a little bit.
It's hard to get him off Discord, if I'm going to be honest.
Yes. Saket's been on a bit of a character journey, and so has the player. You've
Yeah.
changed a little bit since you first started. You've kind of got a new growth too.
Yeah, the new growth, the parasite turned into a
Is it
thing.
bacon?
I suspect it's made out of bacon, actually.
Shame. He's not made out of bacon, although he will be when he gets
Dude.
old enough to eat it. No, yeah, it's been a really interesting journey. I think Saket has kind of grown in character as she's sort of progressed along the way. It's been really fun to play with everybody as well. You know, and again, you know, all the ways of Adras going, this was so fitting. I had to laugh just because of, yeah, if she turned into a bloody book. Like, how else was she gonna go?
Right.
It's been really fun. And also watching Blackston become Atra, like what a contrasting character. We've gone from one murderous skit to quite another murderous skit at times.
The murders for different reasons.
But completely different motives and reasons, and it's been quite fun to watch that as well. You know, it's been fun to watch Con evolve and Jorik evolve. So it's like it's been a very interesting journey for everyone, I think. And the story's been great. So yeah, I've really enjoyed myself. I think Saket has really enjoyed herself, having bacon and cake and all the other yummies.
But we do like our food when we get together, I must admit.
Yeah, and hello, we'll make more sunbread the next time you're here. So yeah, I'm looking forward. You know, I hope that we get to restart it when everything settles, and I hope Jenny still joins us.
You really think this growth is going to settle? Like,
Hey, he's, you know, okay, he did have a moment there that he needed to see Mummy's face, but he has gone back to sleep. I have to say, he's extremely calm, and we've gotten really lucky because new parents will not want to hear that we actually get a full night's sleep.
Considering the screaming and shouting that's been going on.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely Simon, you've been here since the very beginning. And yes, there was the Blackston. I refer to it as the Blackston incident. It is personally a marked moment in my GMing space as an epic failure. And
at least it was epic.
well, I think by epic, I don't mean as in the positive term. Let's put it as this way. It's a catastrophic failure. But I think that to a degree, it resulted in an interesting journey, which I have no doubt Blackston would have remained a key character had that not happened. I do think it would have been a very different journey, and I think the conclusion would have been quite different as well if Blackston had been around. I think Atra injected a very strong subplot into this whole thing that nobody knew about. I mean, it's not often that the GM ends up asking the player what roles the GM should make. So I've enjoyed that, where it's this is your space, and I trust you as a player and as a GM to be able to run it so that it's entertaining and it changes the game. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Okay. I know there've been times you haven't been happy, but there are other times you have been.
So first and foremost, I want to thank everybody, from the viewers to each and every one of you. 5 wonderful people. Obviously, Jonathan and Guy, we have been playing this incredible journey for almost 2 years now, which is, for many people, a not insignificant time of their experience, and it has been wonderful. And actually, retrospectively, if I think back on it, I think it has been very enriching to my role-playing life, because I've been playing, as you know, for a long time. And one of the things then which we first spoke about is that I loved your content because it is different than what I usually do and like and experienced, and what my opinion is. And this goes for each of the other players as well, that the difference is in some parts bigger, in other parts less pronounced so. And this has been incredibly, I love this. I love this, to experience this, because it just gives you different perspectives and lets you grow, because you can kind of reflect on your own opinions if you think they're right or wrong, and you kind of can change your opinion. So for all the viewers, if you are in the situation that you can kind of find new games, even if it's just for 2 or 3 sessions, whatever it is, do it. Play with new players, play with new dungeon masters, maybe switch around a little bit when you can, maybe switch the system if you can a little bit, just to try different things out, because it will just enrich your pool of knowledge. And so to come back to this game, is that it has been wonderful. There's things, as you mentioned, that I went very, very directly against what I enjoy, but I think I made them known and I didn't bitch about it or whatever. So, and if it doesn't work, if I'm the outlier, then okay. Well, the game overall is so much fun for me, so whatever, right? This is like one aspect of the game. What do I care if this is not exactly what I want, right? Like this is like having that attitude is bad. And if it's overall a blast, why would I make like an elephant out of the problem? So absolutely. So that has been great. I loved the story. I was amazed oftentimes in the different twists that I didn't see coming, and sometimes at the twist I saw coming as well. So that was amazing. I was amazed at the 3 people, how they kind of fit in and how it changed the dynamic. And I was amazed at the difference that Adras then played to that you kind of mentioned. And I think the change in tone and the change in the direction the story took is a test on how well the game was handled from everybody, but most specifically you, Guy, and that it was great. I had a lot of fun playing my characters, and I was quite amused when you kind of switched the roles there earlier. But I think that is exactly how it should be handled and how I did handle it in my games in the past as well. Give the players as much freedom in places where it doesn't really change the important things in your story. You can give them as much freedom and much room, like to do their own stuff, which will just get buy-in, and it's awesome. And it was funny in the moment as well. So I just rolled with it, right? I was a little bit surprised at first, but yeah, I mean, so that was extremely funny from this point of view. And specifically the last 2 sessions, that is something that I cannot do very well, but that's maybe also because I mostly run open games, is that coming to a finish, like bringing things together. And so often in big kind of complicated stories that I see, read, view, whatever, consume, it's a very unsatisfying ending. And I think specifically the changes to Adras and to Con in the last 2 sessions were extremely rewarding. They were extremely good endings to their personal arcs. And that has been super, super fun for me to kind of view as an outsider and just to be happy about, because it made the whole kind of journey for these 2 characters round. And that's something that I enjoyed quite a lot. And yeah, I just want to thank everybody again. It has been great.
Absolutely. I think you hit on some very good points there, Simon. Very good points. I will say Adras was a very difficult PC from a story perspective because he was so unpredictable in terms of his convictions. In one way, he was very predictable because we knew he was going to stick to his path. Right. What his path was and how he was going to stick to it versus what the crew were doing was very interesting to watch. And the dynamics that played out with Con and Adras and the rest of the crew, it was this love-hate, tug-pull, need type of thing. And I think that was very interesting to watch. And I mean, obviously, it's always a bitch to be an evil character, and usually you should never do it or allow it, because it is really complicated. The only reason why I did it is, one, I wanted to replay a really different character, because playing like Paxton wasn't really right.
I wanted to do something different, one, and two is I was quite confident that the group and you and me could handle it if we play together, because the respect is there. So yeah, obviously there were things when I worked against the group, but not in a kind of smashing direct way. And the reason why I pushed for the daughter thing so hard is because Jonathan literally 3 times told me, like, if you need to do it, then do it. I was like, well, fuck it. Like, then, like, okay.
I think it worked out quite well. Jenny, we
Yes.
did not plan this ending. I did not plan this ending. It's so amusing how things have played out.
Yeah.
For you,
It was-
what's the journey been like? Because you've been
Oh
on
my
a journey, haven't you?
It's, yeah, like both for the character and for myself. I mean, God, I'm going to try my hardest not to get like weirdly emotional about this, but no guarantees. I mean, I came into this just making as a autistic person and as a very sort of anxious person. Damn it. Sorry. Taking that leap and putting yourself out there and making yourself vulnerable and going, I'd really like to be a part of this. And then actually getting it and getting to be on this fantastic journey with fantastic people and like a freaking viewership and just this intense experience just unlike anything else I've ever experienced in my life. And I think it's going to stay with me one way or another forever, I think. And I mean, it's bitter to see it end, but my God, what an ending. I thought that was amazing. I mean, I knew that the books were going to have to be part of it. And like, immediately when they met Argyle, there was something was going to happen there, honestly. But so many questions unanswered. All of this time, all Adras I wanted was just understand what the fuck was going on. I'm not sure they still do. But I think that the great realization in the end is that it doesn't really matter. It's like they're actually sort of jumped to the point where they're beyond caring if you understand what's going on, because it doesn't matter what's going on, really. And I can just, and I was weighing back and forth a little bit on the ending, like, is because I wasn't quite sure what exactly was going on with the deal and what was happening. It was like I was getting the feeling that there was a positive end to be had here. But again, Argyle as character is not trustworthy. But like, I could still feel that like they wanted something, like in character, they wanted something to be worked out. And I was like, how much can I change Guy's setting here? Like, I don't want to ruin everything. Can I kill all the dragons? Will he let me kill all the dragons? Can I rewrite the gods? Can I make slavery not a thing? Like, what are my options here? But in the end, I just kind of had to try and risk looking silly, I suppose. That's all you can do, really, is risk looking silly. And if you do, that's sometimes entertainment for thousands of people, it turns out. How about you? I've had so much fun. How about you, Guy? Have you had fun? Has things turned out sort of like you hoped?
No, absolutely. It's been a blast. I mean, I've been doing this for 2 years across 2 hemispheres and 2 countries, and you know, it has been a remarkable exploration, and not to get too technical about it. I mean, I have run this scenario before with other players in my own table group. They had the stones. They had one of the books. They never got the other books. They were just not diplomatic at all. Some of the incidents happened.
And we were?
I don't know. You guys just managed to get them. And then when you didn't have them, you dropped hints to the druid like, well, you know, the merfolk have got a book. You should just get that from them. And you know, this happened and that's happened. So it just kind of evolved that way. What was very different, though, was the order dynamics that happened and the way that you guys then played those dynamics as well. You didn't play it as we're going to be a force of good from inside and we're going to change it subvertively. You just went complete rebellion on the crowd and launched your campaign of obliteration. The order or the fulcrum, I think it was mentioned, I don't know what you called it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Order 66 was given and you annihilated and destroyed. It was a very interesting journey. And of course, the characters were all very different. So the ending was definitely not what the other group did. The other group, they worked out the stones have far more capability than what Adras had even glimpsed at.
Yeah.
So, you know, ultimately one wants the dragons to win. The previous group went into the dragon realm and then quashed everything from within it. So there was none of the book stuff. And I have to say, Tobias, I wish you could have played Argyle in the finish of this, but I didn't anticipate that this was what was going to happen. So I hadn't.
No, I mean, that would have been really hard to do.
You know,
because I would have to have so much knowledge about the setting
right,
and what would be allowed to do.
Tried to.
I think you did a nice job anyway.
Do what you had done. I really did, to make it enticing. And I think, you know, that it's testimony that all of you, when I've played to your particular character's story, you guys have risen up and said, okay, let's go with it. Let's explore these options, and not kind of pushed back or stopped it from happening. So, Con, when we're doing your family history moment with the fire and all that kind of stuff, you were very vague about it, but you allowed us to play it. And then we took that, and when Michael Kesselman was playing with Taru, the three of you, Simon and Con, you guys took those visions and you know, it kind of worked. So you guys are very good at picking up stuff and running with it. And that just makes everything so much easier. Because, hey, we're working together to make this really cool story. And then looking at what the fans were writing, I must admit, you know, in my own personal game around the table, I didn't have 500 people saying, well, you know, this is an...
well, actually...
well, correct. So, you know, and then the Discord is a whole different kettle of fish altogether. If I thought there was lots to respond to on YouTube, you then add in Discord, and it's an insane live conversation. So there's been a lot of dynamic sort of flow and stuff. But I have really enjoyed it. And it is almost... Is it 2 years? Is it more than...
It's about...
I've been in Japan for a year and 4 months.
I mean, we had like 2 months before we started recording, right? We had the pre-adventure to kind of get
sure
into the
yes
flow.
Yes.
And then we started in the summer, yeah.
Of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was 6 months before I got to Japan. Yes, that's right, because I had just got Fiber. That's right. I had just got South Africa's version of Fiber, which is basically Pigeon.
I think we started in July, so it's
somewhere around there. Okay. So it is almost 2 years. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad the conclusion did work, because we were trying to balance a whole bunch of things together. And although it was a little, how can I say it? It wasn't your character's powers that caused the ending to happen. It was your character's decisions. And the idea that Con and Jorik just stood in front of this black dragon saying, come at me, bro, because I can't do anything. In terms of you couldn't fight the beast. I mean, this is an ancient black dragon. It blinks and does more damage.
No, we banked everything on Adras actually.
And I think that was...
And I had no faith in that, actually. I didn't think that was going to work. I think it was going to be a sad ending. But, you know, we went out fighting. But
yeah, exactly. I mean, I was sitting here whilst we were going through the session thinking, you know, looking at my spell lists and all of that and thinking, you know, I've been playing D&D a long time. I'm a 9th level character. You know, you meta it and, you know, we'll die if we just try and fight the dragon. So we need to story this. And I thought in that regard, it all worked rather well.
I mean, I told Guy, I remember I messaged you a while back, like talking about how like Adras' attitude towards the books might be changing and how they might be open to talking to Argyle and actually using that as a solution and then actually like going in and changing the world. And I just sort of just putting it out there, just giving you this in case this is something you want to do something with, in case this is something you want to be ready for. Because, and I think that, I mean, so you had an idea that I might go there.
I use most props in the game as lures to lure the characters to do things. So if I see that you are interested in X, I will use X to create plot and give potential storylines. When you suggested that there might very well be there's more to it, obviously I'm going to leap onto that and say, now, yes, let's take that further. The whole Argyle thing was, and the other characters with Argyle, that was as a result of us not having Sophie with us to role play. So, that's the evolution that I talk about. When you don't have a player, you don't stop playing. You change and adapt and adjust and discover stuff.
Overcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think part of me knowing that you knew that sort of also let me trust you in the end, like this last episode.
Right.
Trusting you to whatever happens to Adras at this point, whatever they get into, if they go make a horrifying monster of themselves with a mad god,
right?
I'm going to trust you to make a good story out of it. And I think this last episode, that's sort of everything that I wanted, which is fun.
I certainly couldn't see a more satisfying ending. Let's put it that way.
Same.
And the crew, the dear crew. I had so much fun with the crew, I have to admit. I mean, Captain Ty falling madly in love with Adras and going from this prim, proper
Adras, you're the best.
Atramentum!
Atramentum! That's the one rule I am taking away from this game, is character names have been completely different alphabet. Different alphabet. You're allowed the English alphabet, you're allowed Cyrillic, you're allowed the Greek alphabet. I mean, that's it. That's it. I must admit, I had a lot of fun playing the NPCs. Captain Ty, Mios, I absolutely loved Mios. He was not supposed to do anything. He was supposed to die in that mercury pool with Mutaru and Con and Blackston. You guys saved him. I had a lot of fun with Mios and Hurricane going on his journey of expulsion and then being brought back. We've had a lot of fun. I would love to hear, and I'm sure everybody else would love to hear as well, because we're going to end this one because this is like the longest episode in the history of episodes. And it's 1 a.m. in Japan. So anyway, that's not the point. I would love to hear what your favorite moments were in the show. If you've been with us from the very beginning, which I think most of you have, what were the things that you really, really, really loved about this? What kept you coming back week after week to listen to these crazy stories? Yes, Simon, you've got something that you want
What
to...
I would like you to do, though, here's a little bit of homework for you, is do a post-mortem of the campaign and maybe compare your notes with the reality.
Right.
That would be great fun. Yeah.
All these crazy notes, correct? Yeah, absolutely.
Make a good video.
Yeah, I can do that as a video. I don't have a problem doing that. I think that could be quite fun. So have a look out for that on How to Be a Great GM. No, I'll put it here. It makes more sense to put it here. So then you can sort of link it all together. But yes, I would love to hear your thoughts and comments. Leave it down below in the chat. There are other games that you can catch myself and these wonderful players in. Do any of you guys don't stream or video any of the games that you guys are in?
I do not right now. I honestly have not.
You don't have any time. Real life is adulting.
It's adulting thing.
Yeah.
In my case, it's a case of not yet, but we have talked
Not
about
yet, yeah.
Watch this.
I'm still getting my setting in place for a game, but after that I might.
There we go. Well, you can watch that space. I know certainly I will be back. Well, I'm everywhere. Save or Dice is the new spot for now. We've got Broken World Chronicles, which is on Tuesdays, although by the time this episode airs, I think that's going to be over as well, because that was only a limited run show. And then I'm trying to think if this is over yet. Hopefully you will have been watching the Ghosts of Saltmarsh, which was run on the D&D channel. I think that is still running by the time this episode airs, because we're quite far ahead.
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff happening. You can find us everywhere, and lots more to come as well. So until next time, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Remember, let us know what your favorite moments were in the show. So from myself, I want to say thank you and goodbye to Jono, Tobias, Sophie, Simon, and Jenny. And to all of you, thank you again, and goodbye.